Hi YouTube, this is your LDM. You're running a game today called The Fall of House Hojo. It is a D&D 5th edition game, and it is set in a sort of fantastical feudal Japan. Um, so I'll just have my players introduce themselves, and then we'll do character intros in the game itself. So we'll start with Oliver, please.
Okay, hi YouTube. Hi everyone. I'm playing a character named Hidetada Hojo. He's quite the shy guy. He's pretty young. He's not from the main family itself. He's from the branch family of the Hojos. And so people from the main family have the tendency of looking down on him. He talks very little, and he's always thinking of ways to prove himself to the main family. Yeah, pretty young, pretty much like 18, 20 years.
Okay, perfect.
Here you go.
All right, Nelson, you want to go next? You are muted.
I'm unmuting before. I'm Nelson from Infinite Roleplay. Infinite Roleplay is my YouTube channel. I do a bunch of stuff there, just a bunch. I'm going to be playing Tsutomu Hojo, who's a very, very thin, very skinny individual, but whose skills lie in more than just martial combat.
Okay. Dennis?
I am Dennis Kellogg, and I'm playing Lord Hojo. He's honorable and fair, but he runs his house with an iron fist. He takes his responsibilities seriously, caring for those under him, including the common people in his lands. But he is known for being very fierce, and that those that become his enemies not living long.
Perfect. Okay, Bryant?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Bryant. I will be playing tonight Jin Hojo, a very shady son of Lord Hojo type character. He's a personal protector of Lord Hojo, basically his enforcer. His nickname is Shadow Dancer, and let's have some fun.
Okay. And last but not least, we'll have Andrew Knapp.
Hey guys, Andrew Knapp. I go by SR2 Joker on YouTube. Tonight I will be playing Sadaharu. He is also a member of Hojo. He is a inspector for Yamato. Would it be prefecture? I think it's prefecture at that time. So. Yamato prefecture. He's corrupt. There's a lot going on as far as rumors go around Yamato. He's basically being dishonored, and he is leaving to go back to his house.
Okay, perfect. So, House Hojo is renowned as being one of the most powerful clans in Japan. So, under the guidance of Lord Hojo, it has risen from being quite a small house in the hinterlands to becoming one of the biggest clans in Japan. And through martial force, they've conquered many of their neighbors. They have lots of vassals and stuff like that. The rise has been like meteoric. It's been insanely quick. And rumors abound about Lord Hojo, that he's been up to weirdness. Rumors about dishonorable combat, illegal warfare, rumors about shadows in the night, and occult magics and stuff happening at Hojo Castle. So you have been warned twice by the Shogun, well, by messengers of the Shogun, to stop that shit. And you haven't. Nobody knows about it. It's almost no one in your house knows about it anyway, and the people who think they know about it, it's all rumors and hearsay. But people are jealous of the fact that House Hojo has risen so quickly and has conquered so much, and so you guys are certainly in trouble. So I'll just have you guys introduce your characters, like what they would be doing in House Hojo, where they would be hanging out and stuff. An army is camped outside the castle, or an enormous army, including the Shogun himself and all of his bannermen and stuff like that. So there's quite a sizable army outside, and you're awaiting the arrival of a messenger. But you can be wherever in the castle and just say what you guys will be up to, I guess. So whoever wants to go.
Jin would be pretty much taking the disposition of his enemy, counting their soldiers, figuring out what their army consists of, and probably the only time he would ever leave his father / the Lord Hojo's side would be to do such that.
Yeah, looking at you see it's pretty gigantic. So if the Shogun himself is here, you can assume that his pretty much everyone else is here, right? So a lot of the clans have banded together. They have made these assumptions about House Hojo, that you have powerful magics and evil spells that you can cast, so they think they're going to need everybody to take you down if that's what's necessary. Okay, so who's next?
Okay, so right now, Hojo Hidetada will be by the side of his father, who's the brother of Lord Hojo. His father is quite the old man. He's presently sick, and right now, Hidetada Hojo is kneeling behind his father's bed, trying to pray and trying to understand what he has to do to support his uncle.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Lord Hojo would be noticeably absent for several hours once word reached the house of the approaching army. Once that they have settled and surrounded the house, he would appear. Despite his age, he is still a tall, imposing figure. His hair black, not streaked with white, as one would expect for one of 50 years. His body of someone that keeps in shape. Right now, he is just wearing the typical silk robe that he wears, seeming unconcerned of the horde awaiting outside as he stands on the wall looking out over the vast army, searching for signs of where the Shogun is located within the massive horde.
Okay. Yeah, you can see him. He's he's quite a ways back, but you can see the enormous banners and stuff, and a tent has been set up in the pavilion. And you recognize the banners of the Tiger Claw, who are the elite bodyguards of the Shogun. So they're notorious warriors from kind of all around Japan, been taken under the Shogun to protect him at all costs. Okay, and who's next?
Do you want to go, Nelson, or is it?
No, go ahead. You go. I'll go
Okay.
last.
So there's a servant quarters on the estate. You see in a room 2 men sitting at a table. One of them is Sadaharu. He's wearing his white and gray kimono. Across on the other side of the table is Hiko, about a middle-aged servant, a Shogun synthesizer, somebody that doesn't really believe in Hojo's honor, someone that's kind of slipped underneath the radar, but I've kind of sussed out, whipped it out. In between them is a board of shogi, which is basically Japanese chess. You can see Hiko bending over, and he looks really nervous, his hands shaking, sweating profusely, and he puts his hand down on a tile, and he slides it across the board. Before he picks his finger up, he just looks up at me. You can see his nervousness getting to him, and then he lifts the hand. You can see no expression on Sadaharu's face as he just coldly moves his final tile into place, checkmating the Gyoku, the Jade Empire, the Jade Emperor. He gets up. You see him produce a small tanto out of his waistband with an ivory handle, ivory scabbard. He lays it down and just looks across with a cold stare and says, "You know what your honor demands." And he turns around and begins to walk away. After a few steps, you hear this exasperated breath, and then a slash of a blade, and something fall out all over the ground, and then a cold, lifeless body hit.
Awesome. All right, Nelson.
Oof, a lot to follow, man. Yeah, you would see before joining his father and the other members of his house, You see Satomu in his room, kneeling on the floor, kowtowing to a shrine that is obscured by shadow. Once, twice, 3 times. As he raises up in the shadows, small, cynical grin crosses his face. He goes to the corner and he grabs a small black book and then a cloak that seems to be stitched together from countless black feathers. These feathers, even when in the light, don't seem to catch it at all. And as he walks away reading his book, you would see that the book only looks partially there. As he turns each page, it turns black and wisps off into the ether. He'll close his book, open his door, and walk to his family. With each step, the cloak seems to billow just slightly more than it should. Dozens of black feathers falling off and fading into the ether before they hit the ground.
Sweet. Okay, so you guys have been called to Lord Hojo's throne room because a messenger has arrived from the Shogun. So I'll make the assumption you guys are all standing there. Lord Hojo, you can either stand or sit on your throne. It's up to you guys how you want to be. I mean, I don't know what the protocol would be, but I assume that you'd be sitting.
Yeah, I'd be.
Okay. This messenger walks in. He's like kind of a thin, small man, wearing ridiculous fine robes with enormous shoulders and, you know, just totally down to the ground with wealth. And he comes and he walks up and he bows, and then he takes out a scroll and he starts to read. House Hojo stands accused of the following crimes: dishonorable conduct, occult practices, consorting with demons, murder, theft, and legal warfare. This is the third and final warning from the most benevolent Shogun Tokugawa. Surrender your house and yourself to the Shogun. You can still die with honor before him. If you refuse, the most holy and radiant Emperor has decreed that your house is to be destroyed and all records of House Hojo expunged. The Shogun awaits outside your walls. I will bring him your answer.
Lord Hojo slowly exhales as he rises to his feet. He clasps his hands behind his back as he slowly descends the few steps from his throne, approaching the messenger. He stands in front of the man, meeting his gaze, staring at him for several moments before speaking, before finally saying, "Did you just suggest that I give up my throne?"
He's kind of taken aback. He doesn't look you in the eye. He's got his gaze to the ground. Lord Hojo, the Shogun commands it. You are accused of crimes. You must respond to him.
So now you presume to tell me what I must do.
These are the orders from not only the Shogun himself, but the Emperor. Your house stands accused of many crimes.
I lean back a moment and turn my gaze around the room, then back down to him, narrowing my eyes. You are the only one I see here telling me what to do.
I come under the auspices of the Shogun and the Emperor himself, and he takes out a little scroll, and it's got writing from the guys, from the Shogun and from the Emperor, saying he's their messenger. He with a shaky hand holds it up to you. I'm simply a messenger, Lord Hojo. And he's bowing constantly, clearly terrified.
I see. I glance around the room again at those gathered with me, and I turn and begin to return to my throne. The presence of this man offends me.
I'm going to circle behind them and slowly pull out a wakizashi and just look at Hojo over his shoulder.
Yeah, Sutomu will stand up from where he is and slowly walk behind his father. His cloak seems to billow even more and spread out on either side, the left and the right, taking on almost a ghostly flow and looks similar to that of raven's wings as the feathers fall to the ground but fade away before ever hitting.
Seeing this happen, the messenger, like, he looks and he looks down again immediately, but he's seen it happen and he just mutters in his breath, "Magic. It's true."
The blade of Hojo moves fast and relieves this man of his head attack.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just standing there. He's not looking. And just whooshing, and it just rolls to the floor.
And when he did that, I just chuckled.
So the Shogun is outside awaiting an answer. I think this is a pretty clear message. So do you want to throw the head over the gates or something, or?
Actually, I want it prepared. The face to made look very nice, to wrapped in an elegant package like it's a great gift, and have it sent out the gate.
Okay. So we'll flash to the Shogun, right? He receives this gift and he's sitting there in his enormous robes and kind of on this throne, people all around, heads on the floor near him, and this shaky little messenger comes in. "Shogun, a gift from Lord Hojo." "Open it." And he does. It's the face and the head of the messenger. And you just see the Shogun kind of grit his teeth. "So it's to be war then. A shame." He looks up for a second. He just, with an imperceptible wave of his hand, "Begin." Okay, so the army begins to kind of march towards the walls. So Castle Hojo is enormous for a castle in Japan. It's got an outer ring wall, and then inside of that another platform with another wall, and then inside that another platform with the actual castle on top. So it's very well defended. You've got about 1,000 soldiers in the castle. Lord Hojo, you know that for dire situations, there are in the very front courtyard of House Hojo, there are 2 enormous iron statues of samurai. And you know that with a certain ritual, you can activate these to become sort of constructs under your control. But that ritual involves the ritual killing of 10 men. You'll need to bring them to the altar at the very center, the very pit of your castle, and you need to kill them there on the altar. Say the correct ritual, and then the statues will activate under your command. They're enormous. They're maybe 20 feet tall.
I gather my sons and send them out to pick 10 worthy volunteers as I prepare for the ritual in the courtyard.
For the rest of you, the defense is, Hojo, the troops of Hojo are very well disciplined, very well trained. You're a house that's risen to this height through military genius, right? So your troops are incredibly well disciplined, very well drilled. So they're in position, they're covering all the right places. They've got firing patterns of archers and stuff that are going to cover every single bit of the approaching army. And you also have various traps and stuff set up in the courtyard near these statues. The Shogun hasn't brought siege machines. It was kind of not normal practice in Japan to use siege machines. They would actually scale the walls. The walls kind of sloped inwards. You would scale the walls and fight man to man. So the assumption here is that they're going to be throwing some grappling hooks up and climbing, scaling the walls, and then trying to get through that way. Those of you who are not Lord Hojo, who are not going to be murdering people to summon statues, you are going to be in command of various parts of the army. So when the battle begins, basically, you'll be in control, and I'll make you do like leadership roles and stuff like that, and that's how well your troops will perform, right? So we'll say you guys want to try to find some volunteers, right, for the ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, Sadaharu has a particular volunteer in mind. He hasn't been back at the house for long, but while he's been in the castle, there's a young woman that's been catching his eye named Akiko, and she's married to one of the foot soldiers. And he's made advances, and everyone has failed. But secretly, he's been waiting to find a way to get this young man killed, so he can swoop in like the crow he is, and try to pick up the damaged goods. So he'll go, and he'll find Tetsu, her husband, and he'll inform him that he's to be called to the statues immediately because he's going to be promoted to an officer for this battle.
He bows deeply, and you see he's trying not to, but he's kind of beaming a smile. He's trying to maintain the proper decorum, but he's finding it difficult. He's been working really, really damn hard to get to officer, and he thinks all his hard work is finally paying off. And he thanks you, and he makes his way to the statues.
So as he leaves, he hears this just echo in his mind, the last words I give him. House Hojo will always remember the sacrifice of good men.
He bows, as you say, and then wanders. What about the rest of you? Anyone specific in mind? You can just make these people up, yeah?
Yeah, Satomu, being an officer in his father's armies, he goes to his own regiment. Again, moving in a way that looks almost floating, and cloak flying behind him. He goes to address his men. He gathers them together, walks back and forth pacing. My children, the self-important shogun has arrived to challenge your great house. And in concert, as they always done, they cheer in unison.
Mm-hmm. They all shout a ki. Ha!
Your great lord requires you. I need 5 men. Men who are prepared to honor their house in blood.
Every single one of them steps forward.
And I just point to the front rank. 5 men. Just smoothly, and just move my hand to come.
One of them shouts, "We will die for the honor of House Hojo."
And I bow to them. Then turn and bring those men to my father.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Hidetada has heard that there are run-ins in town. Usually those run-ins have been causing trouble at the local tavern.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll be heading there with the contingency of his father, a few bodyguards, and he'll be talking to the run-ins. He'll say, "Hey you're running, right? Are you looking to make some money?"
They're sitting around, right? They're sitting around in their robes, and they're hammered drunk, right, in the tavern in the castle. Just all of them, you can feel the stink of sake on their breath. Yeah, you self-important arsehole. Why would we work for you? We have no master.
Well, don't you want to make some more money? Yeah, Lord Hojo is offering a lot of money if you want to help into the war.
Well, I mean, the entire army of the Shogun is outside. I think our chances are pretty slim if we side with you. It'll want to be a lot of money.
It will be a lot of money. You know how Lord Hojo is. And even though if you don't want to join, if, as you say, the Shogun just breaks into the castle, you'll be dead anyway. So don't you want to make some money if you actually live?
You see one of them, the guy who seems to be the leader, he's a bit cleaner than the others. He's shaved. The rest of them have kind of scraggly beards. He looks around. Well, boys, one last hurrah. Get some cash. They'll go and clank their cups together. All right, we'll come with you.
Okay, just head to the castle. The guards will show you the way.
Okay. Okay, you should have enough now, unless Brian, you want to get somebody as well, just in case.
No, I thought we had them all. So.
Yeah, we have them all.
Okay.
All right, so these guys, the incredibly beautiful samurai from Tsutomu's regiment, the guy who thinks he's getting promoted, and the couple of Ronin who just arrive staggering drunk. They all arrive, and they're brought down into the depths of the castle, and they're like, this is a little odd, but maybe Lord Hojo just likes to do things in private. Like way down, 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 underneath the bowels of the castle itself, into where a usual castle would have a dungeon. But instead of a dungeon, it's like a well-lit kind of, lots of guttering candles and stuff like that, a big room. And all these, there's an altar in the center, and around there are images of creatures of Japanese mythology, oni and dragons and all this sort of stuff. And a large bed. So, Lord Hojo, you are there. If you want to have Tsutomu with you, that's fine.
I would definitely be
your disciple.
the personal bodyguard.
I don't think you're privy to the weirdness, right? I think that you and Andrew and Oliver's characters don't know anything about the occult stuff, right? You think Lord Hojo is just a fucking great warrior, but
Yeah, sure.
Tsutomu is the disciple, and he's learning warlock skills as well. So I think he could potentially be there. This is the whole thing. It's like you guys serve Lord Hojo because he's this great man, but he's got weird stuff going on in the background.
I think my character would have an inkling of it, though not really know what it is.
Yeah.
And given how his character has behaved, I would, of course, be watching my son. So if I thought that it was something he'd be accepting of, I would include him in on this so I can judge.
Also, something as being the nephew of Lord Hojo, even though he's not into the confidentiality, as Lord Hojo is a great warrior and is his uncle, he might find some kind of pretext just to find an answer for, the mythical happenings. Mm-hmm. Like the statues, if they start moving, actually, he'll say that Lord Hojo is such a great man, so it might be the will of the gods. So something like that.
Yeah, that's true. You guys all have noticed that when people are brought to Lord Hojo's private rooms, they don't really appear again. Or if they do, they appear very changed. Okay, so the guys are in the room with you, and you know what you need to do. You need to kill them. You need to say some words on the altar. You need to take out their hearts, and you need to bite each one, and then place them on the altar.
When they first arrive, I am waiting, and I have them assembled in a line, and I move through inspecting them, giving them each a nod. Yeah,
they're mostly kneeling. The Ronin initially were a bit like, huh, and then they saw you and your imposing presence, and they were like, okay, thought better of it and decided to kneel.
Okay, so as I make one pass and reach the end, I make a motion with my hand, summoning my halberd. The handle is red and smoky, almost ethereal. The blade black as night, giving off wisps as well. As I swing it and begin removing the heads. Mm-hmm. Quick, swift, unhesitating motions.
Yeah, the samurai see it happening, and they're like, well, duty is duty, and they don't resist at all. The guy who thought he was becoming an officer is deeply confused by the whole situation. He thinks maybe like these guys are being disciplined, and he's about to get, promoted because these guys have messed up. The Ronin are freaking the fuck out, right? Their eyes are wide, and they're still kneeling because they're afraid of what's going to happen. But they're kind of like, definitely, like hands go to swords.
Now, does he personally have to take their head, or can we just?
He has to do it.
Mutilate them all. Okay.
So you just continue slashing, taking heads. So
If they try to resist and like draw their weapons, I'll kick their hands out of the grasp of their weapons and continue the smooth motions of the swinging and chopping.
yeah, you are a much more able warrior than any of these, and as you get to the officer, he just looks up and he says, "Why?" And he's done. And then the Ronin. Go ahead.
I actually pause when he says that, and I go, "Because you made yourself an enemy of my son," and then I remove it.
Sweet. And the Ronin, the first 3, easily decapitated. It's too swift for them to notice. The last 2 kind of attempt to jump up and draw swords. But you're able to kick them back down and just a single swing decapitate them both. So yeah, you need to now remove the hearts, bite each one, and then place them on the altar.
So then at that point, I dismiss my weapon and move to a nearby table where there's a dagger especially designed for such things, and begin with an almost eagerness remove the hearts.
Yeah, you're able. Go ahead.
And it's obvious that this is not something that he's new to. That's very precise, very experienced.
Yeah, with practiced ease, you make the cut, remove the heart, you take a bite, place the hearts on the altar, you complete the ritual, and as you do, everyone outside will notice the statues, which have their swords crossed as a sort of archway. They, in unison, go and get into a ready position, and they are probably 25 feet tall, made entirely of iron, and they've got enormous katana. And you feel the connection. Master Hojo, we will serve.
At that point, he grins wickedly and begins cleaning himself.
So the army has reached the walls. They're beginning to climb up, right? You've got archers raining down on them. And they've got archers raining in, standing back, and it's pretty chaotic. But the first kind of wave reaches the wall and comes into the courtyard. So I'm going to say each of you has a regiment of soldiers, and you're going to be commanding them for this part of the battle. So you can decide how you want to do it. So if you want to do it through fear or something, that's fine. If you want to do it through appealing to their sense of honor or anything you want. And then you just pick an appropriate skill, and you'll do a roll for it.
Before moving, leaving the altered area in the basement, Tsutomu will walk to his father, noticing that he's trying to clean the blood off of himself. He'll just lay one hand on either shoulder. He'll nod, and as he nods, the blood runs down and away and off of his robes, leaving him completely clean. And he'll just say with his head nodded, "Father, I hope my offerings honor you."
As always, your actions make me proud, son.
So while that whole ceremony was going on, Sadaharu was actually out, and after he sent that young man to his death, Tetsuo, he went to Akiko and found her in the gardens. And as he's pulling out the still beating heart, I can feel my heart start to race. And I go up to her and I take her up, and she's really surprised to see me, and I hold her hand and I go, "Akiko, we're on the eve of war." And I let her hand fall down, and I turn and I say, "I know you can't return my love, but know that I'll never, never cease to give it, should you want it."
She is deeply uncomfortable. this is like an impossible position for her because you are the son of Lord Hojo and she's like married to some other guy who she thinks is being promoted. So she just has no idea what to do, where to look, anything like that. She just says, "Oh, yeah, I am flattered." Deeply, deeply uncomfortable. No idea what to do.
I act like I'm gonna put my hand on her shoulder, but then I think better and I slowly draw it back. And I say, I know. You're worried for Tetsuo. He is a strong warrior. And now he is an officer. I've promoted him for the great battle. Honor will be his for you and your house. He will fight on the front lines, commanding an entire battalion of men.
You are very, very kind, Hojo Sadaharu. You are very, very kind.
So I walk over and I pick a flower. And I turn and I take a petal and flick it off and I go, but I'd be lying if I told you there's not risk. Many men won't return from this battle. That is the price they pay. And I just flick another petal off.
She nods. Honor is dangerous. Warriors make that choice. It is part of duty.
Well, let your heart be put to rest then. And once again, you see the scene change and boom, boom, boom. And he takes a bite out of another heart. And I say, if things go bad, I'll always be there to look after you.
She bows. Thank you, Lord.
With that, I will make my way out as gracefully as possible and go to see my men.
Okay, sweet.
In fact, after he leaves, 2 of Lord Hojo's men show up just to ensure to her safety and to keep an eye on her, of course.
Perfect.
In case she gets any ideas about trying to escape or continue on.
Excellent. Okay. So yeah, the battle is definitely dawning, and you guys need to now rally your troops and kind of command them. So if you can imagine, right, there's a wall that stretches probably nearly a mile in front of you, and that's where the tactics are so honorable that they just will attack from one side, right? They'll just it's not about being a genius, it's about being honorable about it, right? So they just attack from one side, and they're walking into your defenses, and you are mowing them down with archers and stuff like that.
So it was possible, knowing that would likely be the way, I would take advantage of that and have it set up to take advantage of their weakness.
Absolutely, yeah. You have set up traps and stuff on the other side of the wall, right? So pits with spikes in them. You've got pitch lined up, so when enough of them cross, you can light the pitch and there'll be a fire and stuff. You've got it all set up. You know that this is going to happen. This is why you were able to conquer so much, because you don't do this, right? You attack from 2 sides. You send spies and stuff like that before any of this happens. Okay, so you need to get your troops in order, right? They are currently rushing across. The first wave walks into these pit of spikes, runs into them. They're screaming, ah! Swords raised, splat. Next wave runs across, archers, light, massive fire erupts, a mile long across the front of the wall, and hundreds, thousands of samurai are incinerated by it. But they just keep coming. There's no fear in any of them. They're all just totally not hesitant and running to their death. This is part of their duty. This is what they expect. So they start to charge forwards, and you guys can decide how you want to lead your men.
Since Jin is the personal protector / bodyguard of Lord Hojo, I assume that he would have a personal contingent.
Yeah, he would have a retinue of hand-picked warriors.
Not only that, he would have a hand-picked contingent of shadow dancing warriors, and he is going to take this personal contingent, and he's going to stealthily circumvent this frontal assault, and he's going to hunt the Emperor.
So, if you want to leave the castle, right, there's an enormous army out there, so getting through that is going to be very, very difficult. But, I mean, you can do it, but it's going to be super tough because there's a literal army, and the Shogun is quite far back, but you can definitely try it.
Would it be possible, anticipating what was going to happen, that we could have procured uniforms and armor that match those that are loyal to the Shogun
Yep.
for them to use to try to blend in?
Yep.
Nice little disguise ourselves. Plus, I mean, even so, battles ensued. We could just pick off dead bodies that are on the battlefield right now.
Sure. Well, I would say that you guys are like crafty enough that you would have thought of this. You know.
Okay. So that's what I'd like to do. I don't know. Like, I think a couple of the sons should go along and maybe try to go and take care of the emperor himself, the real threat. Because
It's the
battle's not
Shogun,
going
right?
to end.
The emperor is in Kyoto. The Shogun
Okay.
is here, not the
The
emperor.
Shogun.
So the emperor is kind of like the face of authority in Japan. He's like, he's too pure to be heard, but he is like the official ruler. But really, the Shogun does all the ruling, right? He has all the power. Everything is done by him. But the emperor, commands the Shogun, technically.
So I think what we should do is, whoever wants to come along, change our armor, pretend we're wounded, or a couple of us are wounded, and like we're just gonna litter everybody back to get healed, and then we're in the back, we're disguised, and we can go take care of some.
Okay. I will say that if you're not here, the castle will fall.
Okay.
Like, for sure. But, I mean, it's also a good idea to take out the Shogun. So, I mean, it's up to you guys. What do you want to do?
Okay. As for me, Hojo Hidetada. Okay, it's a bit with the background of my character. So, Hojo Hidetada was married to a young woman from a noble family in the Omi lands. It was the family of the Azai. So his wife died a few years ago, and 5 of her flower elite samurai pledged their lives to Hidetada Hojo. So right now he'll be going right to this man that he's got used to, that he likes. He'll say, "Man of Omi, you have pledged your lives to me since the death of my wife. I regret to ask you this, but I want you to help me into this fight. This is for the honor of the house of Hojo. If you want to leave, do not worry, there won't be dishonor in it because you two have families. And those who want to stay, join me into the holding of the gates. No one tramples on Hojo ground without permission, and those who do never leaves."
Awesome. That's great. Yeah, so all of the warriors step forward and they, ha! Sort of an affirmation that they're with you. So you've got them.
And I lead those men to the gates?
Okay.
Okay.
So the rest of you, are you going to try this stealth mission, or are you going to try and defend the castle?
I have a contingent of archers, and I'm on the wall.
Okay. Yeah.
Lord
I'm
Hojo, what is your order? My contingent is ready. We can go around and hunt the head, or we can stay here and defend you by your side with honor.
We cannot allow them to take the castle.
So as you're talking, right, those of you who are there, which I'm assuming is going to be everyone except for Sadaharu, because he's on the wall murdering approaching samurai. There's a sort of, and to your horror, a contingent of ninja have appeared in your midst, and they all just throw shurikens towards Lord Hojo in an attempt to take him out because they know that he is the real power here. So I'll have you guys. I'm going to have 2 of them attack, and that's 2 misses, I think. Oh no, actually one's going to hit. Okay, so it's going to be one of these. Okay, so it's going to be 7, and then you need to make a con save, Lord Hojo. Oh,
9.
Okay, so you are going to fail that. You're going to take Okay, so it was 7, 8, 9. So 18 points as the poison starts to bite into you. You manage to deflect one of them just with a wave of your hand. Your energy just deflects one of the shuriken, but the other one came from the wrong side. You weren't seeing it. Just bites into your shoulder. So I'll have you guys roll initiative. And Andrew, you can roll initiative, and we can do your archery scenes and stuff when it's your turn.
Cool. For my first initiative, is it cool if I like rile my men up?
Absolutely, yeah.
Did mine come across the screen?
No.
13. I'm not sure why I rolled 2, but 13.
Okay.
Sutomo's initiative is 19.
Mine is 18.
Okay.
I also have a 19.
Sadaharu has an 11.
Actually, oh, never mind. Go ahead.
Okay. What was yours again, Oliver?
For me, it's 18.
18. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Tomo, you're the first one to act. You see these ninjas appear, like just as if smoke bombs have been thrown, right? And they just appear out of thin air. There's 5 of them.
Shit's about to get real.
Yeah, you'll see Sutomo as soon as this happens, he runs to his father's side. Right? Trying to intercept these ninja stars, but obviously failing, not able to move fast enough. After seeing his father wounded, you'll see Sutomo just sort of cross his arms over his head, bow his head, then his arms begin to shake and rattle, and he starts slowly bringing them down, and as the backs of his hands cross each other, you see a spark of electricity, and this electricity starts running up his arms, and then it starts flowing around his body. I'm mage armoring.
Sweet. Okay. Jin, you're next.
It's the hangover sandwich. Oh, Jin, that's me. Oh, Jesus, I'm so dumb.
That's you.
Okay, seeing that his father and his lord, and he is the protector, he's pretty much freaking the hell out right now. So, there's 5 of them.
Yeah, there's 5.
Is there
You see that
are
two
a couple of them
are-
grouped up?
Yeah, so basically 2 of them appeared behind Lord Hojo. Those are 2 that threw the shurikens. The other 2 appeared in front of him, and they're kind of grouped together. The guys behind him are dressed in like what you would consider a ninja, right? They have like masks and black pajamas on, pretty much. The others just look like peasants, normal people. They don't seem to have any battle armor on or anything like that.
And how many are behind him?
2 behind him, 5
Okay.
or 3 in front.
All right. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shadow step behind him, the 2 that are behind him, and I'll roll my attacks, and then I'll describe it.
Sure.
And I'm going to also use a superiority die.
Sure.
All right. So
Is this for precision attack or something?
yeah, I'll call it out. So 2d20, d8. Okay, first attack is an 18, and the second one is an 11.
Okay, so 1 hit.
Okay, so you see Jin pop up behind the 2 and takes a Morning Star, which kind of looks a little off. It kind of has a nice little black glow to it, a little nasty little thing, and he the first attack hits the guy on his right, which is his main hand, and he's doing a disarm.
Perfect. Okay. So he's got like
yeah,
a sort of a wakizashi
yeah,
held in reverse grip.
and it's a strength check for the disarm.
All right. Okay. So let's see.
DC 15.
No, you knock it right out of his hand.
Nice. Okay, so and he takes. That's pathetic. I rolled a 1. Do you believe that? So 5 points of damage there.
Okay. Right, so you smash him in the hand. You do a little bit of damage, but more importantly, he drops his blade.
Yes.
Okay. Hidetada, you're next.
Okay, so right now I'll be leaving the contingency of the Flower Samurai defending the gates. As I saw the ninjas appearing, I'll be charging at one of them, and I mean the closest one,
Mhm.
and I'll try to slash it with my katana,
Yeah.
two-handed.
Sure.
Okay. Oh god. 6 plus 4,
Okay, that's gonna miss.
10. Yeah.
+4?
So
You only have a plus
for
your
strength.
strength bonus. You also add your proficiency. So
Oh,
it should be your
okay.
strength bonus
So-
+3 is what you should have to hit.
Yeah. Okay, so strength bonus plus 3. I have 6, 10, 11, 12, 13. So,
It's still a miss, but it's closer.
okay. So
You
yeah,
have
it
more-
just
You have
goes
more
off.
attacks, don't you? If you're a fighter, you should have more attacks. You should have 2.
Extra attack, that's right?
Mhm. So you can swing
Natural
again.
8.
Okay, so 8 plus
Yeah.
7.
Mhm.
15. That's not enough. That also misses. So
Okay.
you rush up to this
Okay.
guy, and I think you're a little bit out of breath and stuff when you get there, and you're swinging a bit wildly, and he's able to just jump back and dodge out of the way as you do so.
Yeah. Ninja.
Okay, Lord Hojo.
Okay, first a question.
Mhm.
I've never really played a spellcaster before. What's involved within a spell attack roll? Is it just a straight d20, or do I add something to it?
It's
Or
a d20, and then you add your proficiency modifier and your spellcasting
okay,
modifier, which is your charisma if you're a warlock.
okay. So there's still what? How'd you say 5 of these?
There's still 5. One has been disarmed and injured a bit. I
And
put that
there,
extra damage on Brian.
and there's
Okay,
some
yeah, sorry about that.
close to me.
Yes, they're all very close to you. 2 of them are behind you, but Jin is there fighting them now, and 3 of them are in front of you.
Okay, so a look of utter contempt and fury just takes over my visage, as with my left hand I reach to pull the shuriken out of my shoulder and throw it on the floor. As I reach out with my other hand, giving them the gift of the kiss of Amazoko, and release my lightning blast into 2 of them.
Sweet.
So one's a 26, the other's a 16.
Okay, 2 hits.
Okay, so for the first one, let's see, 1d10.
Probably 2d10 by now, I think. Oh, it's 2 beams, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but for the first one, so that's I had my charisma, so 15 points of damage.
Ouch.
Plus, he's knocked 10 feet away.
Oof. Okay. So yeah, this blast knocks into him, lifts him up off his feet, and he just flies. You do see though that he in the air rights himself and lands with a skid on his feet, ready to attack again.
The second one takes 12 points of damage,
Nice.
and he's also knocked 10 feet away.
Yeah, same thing. Wham! Up into the air, and then these guys are obviously practiced at this, and in the air he kind of uses momentum and then lands on his feet. Okay. Nice, Lord Hojo. So Sadaharu.
Okay. So Sadaharu is up at the wall, the exterior wall. He's set up a little table, and his shogi board is open on it. Facing out towards the Shogun Emperor, somewhere out there, is his line of pieces set up. On his side, his pieces are set up. He pans over and takes a little glass of sake. And he looks at it and he says, "Never let good sake go to waste." And he throws it back. He turns around, and down underneath him, before him, are his contingent of archers down on a knee, waiting for order. He can see on their faces that their hearts aren't into it. They don't know what they're about to die for. They know honor demands it, but they don't see the point in it.
Mhm.
So I was out to rouse them. I pace back and forth and I yell, Shikai Oba. And I point at a man and he just shakes his head. He doesn't know. Kanji Ishawara. And I point at another one. He has no idea either. Shojiro Ida. No, you neither. Nobody knows who those men are, because they're all lords that the Tokugawa toppled in under a night. History doesn't remember people like that. What is honor if nobody remembers the honor? And I can see the men's hearts start to beat a little bit. I can see their spirits are rising. I go, are you the type of men that roll over and let your lord get taken? Are you the type of men that the Tokugawa erase from the history books?
No!
Damn straight you're not. And he walks over to the edge, and you see he's now fully armored, very regal looking. You can tell that his posture of an inspector is carried over even in his exilement. And he says, then each of you will kill 50 of their men. Each arrow in your quiver, a Tokugawa death. You write your names big in the history books. Write them so large that the Shogun can read it from out there. And I just point out over the wall. And you can see the men running up.
Nice. Okay, that's awesome. I'm going to give these guys, they're going to do a lot of killing. So instead of me rolling all their attacks and stuff, I'm going to say they loose a volley, just flies, and each arrow hits a guy right in the sternum through the armor, and they just a line of samurai just falls. The samurai behind them just run over their bodies, undeterred, but the archers are already reloading for the next shot. Okay. So the bad guys will go. The ninjas. So the disarmed one, seeing his sword on the ground, will just reach behind and pull out a knife and try and swing for Jan. So he's going to make 2 attacks. Wow. Okay, so it's a miss and a crit. But luckily he's not using a sword, he's using a dagger. Okay, so 7 and 4 is 11 points to you, Jin, as the ninja kind of feints, ducks to the side, and just sticks a dagger in your side.
Do I feel it? Sorry, I had to do it.
The 2 that have been knocked back, they're quite far away from the Lord, but they know what their mission is, and it's to take out the Lord, and they take out another shuriken, and they both throw in the hopes of getting to him. So it's going to be 1 hit. So again, it's going to be a d4, and you need to make another Constitution save, please. Yeah, you make it.
Yeah, this time, it's 24.
Mm-hmm. So you take 7 from the shuriken as it bites into you, the other shoulder, but you just refuse to feel the poison. You just will it out of you.
I'm also, when that happens, is he within 60 feet of me?
Mm-hmm.
Once that second shuriken hits, I'm going to point my finger and cast Hellish Rebuke.
Sweet, yes. So he makes a dex save, right?
Yep. Against DC 16.
Yeah, he fails.
Okay, so
Should be 3d10, I think, something ridiculous like that. Because I think all your spells are cast at 2nd level now, or something like that, right? Or 3rd.
4th.
Already? Wow, okay. So then it should be 4d10, probably.
Yep.
Jesus.
That's a good rebuke.
Oh, yeah.
So let's see. 40, 10. Wow. So 16, 17, 20.
Right, okay. So you raise your arm at him, and he just erupts in flames. You see the skin falling off his face, and you just see the outline of bones and skull for a second in the fire, and he just falls into a pile of dust. The other ninja behind you figures that Jin is the more immediate threat, so he's going to try and attack him with his sword. And because you're engaged with the other one, he's going to have a sneak attack if he hits. Which he does. Okay, so...
I got Well,
Sorry.
when he attacks him, I actually have a sentinel.
Okay.
So since he's the last one to go, I'm gonna, before he lands his attack, I'm gonna blast him.
Okay, sure.
So I'm gonna roll it before I describe it.
Yeah. Does he still get to make the attack?
I guess that would be up to you. It's a reaction. It's like an attack of opportunity.
Okay. Wow, that's a pretty bad roll there.
That's dice stream.
Okay, so it's a critical miss and a miss on your Eldritch Blast. So I think this goes just way too quick for you, and you try and blast, and he just like jumps out of the way. I'll just have Jin make a dex save.
Oh, lucky I'm proficient in that one. Appreciate that. Let's see how Dice Stream treats me on this one. Oh, nice. 17 plus 15. Yeah, I think I made that one. With
Sweet.
like
Okay, yeah.
acrobatic excellence.
Yeah. You jump out of the way. The Eldritch Blast kind of whizzes past your ear. You get a little bit of singeing on your hair, but that's the extent of the damage. So this guy does then, while you're engaged with the other one, sneak up behind you and plant a sword in your thigh. So it's going to be... Oh!
Ow, man. Man
19, no, 22 plus 4, so 26. So distracted by the guy in front of you and the sudden blast coming at you, you dodge out of the way, and as you do, you kind of dodge into the oncoming blade of this ninja behind you, and he stabs you right in the thigh, doing quite a bit of damage to you.
Yeah, I've taken a beating.
And then the final one in front of Lord Hojo is going to try and stab him with a sword. And misses both times. Lord Hojo is way too fast for him. Okay, so back to the top with Tsutomu.
I didn't get to go this turn yet. When I went, that was a reaction.
You did your blast. You just blasted two of them away.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, that's right.
No worries. Tsutomu.
Yeah. There's 3 currently within reach of us, right?
Within reach of you, yeah. The other 2 have been blasted a little bit away.
So let's hope Dice Stream treats me a little bit better now. So I'm supposing a 21 hits at least one of them.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So the one right in front of my father, Tsutomu is sort of almost flailing around with small bolts of lightning just whizzing this way and that. And then he focuses all his power into one bolt and extends both hands, blasting the one in front of his father away 10 feet and dealing 14 points of damage to him.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, so you've given Lord Hojo some space. All the ninjas are not engaged with him anymore. There's 2 on Jin, though, and he's taken quite a beating. It's your turn, Jin.
Feeling quite angry right now. And hurting, considering I'm at about 40%. 2 guys on me. Stealing his resolve, seeing the 2 opponents in front of him, realizing that both of them are pretty substantial threat, he's going to do 1 attack on each, and I'm going to use a couple of superiority die to enhance those. I was going to do a disarm and a trip attack. Disarm to the first guy, trip attack to the second.
Okay.
If I can do that.
I think you can, yeah.
Yeah. It's just spending my die, right?
Yeah.
Really is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so first attack, 16. Oh, yeah, 22.
Yeah.
And the second one is 19, so they should
2
hit.
hits.
Okay, 2 superiority die, 8 and a 7. So The first guy, I believe, is the guy on my right would be the knife.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy pissed me off. That guy hurt me. So he's going to take 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points of damage and is disarmed again.
Okay. Yeah, you once again knock the blade out of his hand. He's like, God damn it.
And the second guy, he needs to do a strength check.
Oh, okay. He fails.
Nice. So his Morningstar comes up, hits his knife and shatters his hand. He drops the knife, and with his left hand, he has a little short sword. Comes up with another uppercut, hits the other guy for 8 points of damage, and then very acrobatically does a nice little 360, spins around and trips him.
You got to add your superiority dice as well, right?
Yes, so that was 7, 15.
Okay. That'll actually finish him off.
Nice. Tripping up his dead, cold body.
Sweet. Okay. So then it's Hidetada.
Okay. How many feet are those 2-1 that got blasted by the lightning?
They're blasted 10 feet back, I think, is how far the Eldritch Blast knocks them. Yeah, it is. Okay, so 10 feet back, you definitely in range of them. You can run up to them if you like.
Okay, I'll run up to them.
Mhm.
And same thing, two-handed katana. What's it? So it's a total 17.
That's a hit. And the second attack?
Second attack. No. 11
Okay.
total.
Yeah. So roll your damage.
Damage, so d12. Plus 4. And I get 15. Total.
Excellent. Okay, right. That guy was already quite badly injured. Yeah, you cut him in half. So from the shoulder to the hip, just whooshing. That's something you've practiced 100 times, cutting through either prisoners or wet straw. You've practiced this cut 100 times, and you know exactly how to do it. And you go just from his collarbone all the way through, and he just splats apart. So you murder him. Okay, Lord Hojo.
So there's only one left in front of me now?
So two of them have been blasted away, so they're about 10 feet away, and one of them is left behind you as well.
But didn't I do the Hellish Rebuke and take out one of the ones that was in front of me?
Yeah. You killed one of the guys who blasted away. Another one has just been killed, so there's one guy who's still blasted away, sorry, and one behind.
Okay, no problem. So at this point, I will summon my Magenta.
Mhm.
And I believe that will take my action, though, so I won't be able to do anything other than
I
that.
think it's a bonus action to summon your weapon, your packed weapon. No, it's a full action? Okay. Yeah, so it's an action then. Okay. Okay, so yeah, you summon this smoky red halberd, right?
Yep, and I kind of swing it around and bring it to rest, pointing at the cradled in the crook of my arm as it's pointed at the one that's left in front of me,
Mm-hmm.
and motioning with my other hand.
Bruce Lee style, love it. Okay, so then it's Sadaharu.
Okay, so I'm peering out over the wall and I'm seeing the troops just enclosing on us.
Mm-hmm.
My hand goes down to the shogi board, and you see me move the enemy's pawns out, coming close to our skirmish line. I then smell this overpowering scent of perfume and shit. Like shit masked with a very light layer of perfume, and I know right away that it's one of my better archers, Hanku. This guy is a really capable leader, even though he's just like a normal enlisted man. He's not an officer. But I go, Hanku, where are you, Hanku? And I turn around and he produces himself, and I say, you see that out there? And I point at a group of men carrying ladders. And then I point at another group of men that are carrying forward a siege weapon. They're actually going to try to break down the door with like a battering ram. And I say, I want you to grab 10 of your best men, and I want you to focus on those men carrying the ladders and those men bringing that battering ram. You cannot fail. And I also need to ask you a question, Lloyd. Is it possible, because I know this isn't the strictly the way it works, but battle masters get know thy enemy, or know your enemy, and if I study a creature out of combat for a minute, I get to deduce its relative strength to a certain set of attributes.
Uh-huh.
Would it be possible for me to inspect the battlefield and try to weigh their military strength versus ours?
Yes.
If
absolutely.
I study it?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm doing, man.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, next turn you will know. All the secrets will open up to you. Once again, the other archers that you had that he would inspired earlier, another volley, and just like with precision, they've actually got these sort of what are they called? They make the arrows whistle, right? So in the air, there's this as they fly, and it's like really disorienting and like terrifying for the samurai below. And another just wave hits exactly at the same time, and another wave of samurai just fall on the ground. The guys you told to take out the guys carrying the ladder, they send a volley. 3 or 4 of the guys carrying the ladder just fall dead, and they stumble for a second and have to get more guys forward to pick it up. The guys with the battering ram, similar situation. They lose 1 or 2 and they have to get more people forward, so it's definitely slowing them down. Okay, so the bad guys go. The ninja. Okay, so the one in the back, figuring he's not going to make it, but he might as well try for Lord Hojo, is going to try and run past Jin, so you get the opportunity to attack him. Actually, no, you won't, because he's going to take a bonus action to disengage, because he's a rogue. And he'll run up to Lord Hojo and try and stab him with his sword.
But wait.
But wait.
But wait, we all have extra stunning action, bonus action.
Yeah.
Keep
I have
spending
full arm
stuff,
master.
so.
Okay, you get to
Nobody
attack
gets
him.
within 10 feet.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also going to invoke Warcaster and cast a spell instead.
Okay,
So I'm going to unleash another blast into him.
sure.
And I'm going to focus both attacks on him.
Uh-huh.
Since he's the one that's in front of me. So a 10 and a nat 20.
Okay.
So that's what? Well, that's going to be 2d10 anyway, right?
That's going to be 40-10 for the crit.
Yeah, peace out, buddy.
So 16,
Yeah, he's gone.
32. Yeah, and another 32. So like 42 total.
Yeah, he's obliterated. Absolutely annihilated with the. So this is like inspiring to the men who are at the wall. They kind of see this enormous surge of energy come from Lord Hojo, and he just like. Is it not 40-10? Because if you make a spell attack roll, you get to crit, right? You get to crit your spells if you make an attack roll.
You do, but Eldritch Blast, instead of multiplying the damage dice, you multiply the number of rays, and each ray is an individual attack, and each ray only does 1d10.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, he was super dead either way. You rolled a ridiculous amount of dice and he did a lot of damage, so it's more interesting if this happens. But I'll know in future. So yeah, this blast of energy just comes and immolates this guy. All the elements just like swaying around him, and you hear like a cheer come from the wall. Hojo! Okay. The final remaining ninja, off on the side. Yeah, he's just going to try and kill Lord Hojo, but it's probably not going to happen, but we'll see. So he's going to throw 2 shuriken at you. It's going to be 2 hits, so it's going to be wham. 7 plus 8 is 15, and you got to make a con save, just the one. Is that a 15 or 5? 6. Okay, yeah.
That'll be
So
12 total.
Okay, it's going to fail. And bam. Wow, that was lucky. Okay, so it's 23. Total.
23 on top of the 15 or total?
Total. 23 total. So yeah, another shuriken bites into you. This time you can feel a little bit of numbness from your leg as the poison kind of sets in, but you're able to shake it off mostly. Okay, back to Tsutomu. Nelson? You are Tsutomu.
I just, I was just, I got lost in the visuals of all these what you call them, ninja stars flying and stuff. There's no one left, right?
There's one left. The guy who just threw the stars.
Oh, okay. The guy who threw those stars.
Yeah.
Tsutomu will just again standing by his father's side. He'll just cross his arms calmly, stand up straight, and start staring into the last ninja's eyes. And his eyes are beginning to just light, and electricity is starting to peel out of the sides of his eyes. And then he grins. He goes, "You really didn't think such a pathetic attack would topple the house of Hojo, did you?" And what he's doing is a vicious mockery.
Okay. As you say that, he shouts, "Death to tyrants!"
So he has to roll, I believe it's a charisma save.
Okay. Not his best stat. He fails.
Yeah. If let me just vicious mockery is somewhere. I think it's 2d4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2d4, and if he survives, he has disadvantage next turn.
Okay, he does survive. But he's got disadvantage. He's got whispering going on in his head. He's definitely a little bit terrified. Jin.
With evil, just hatred in his eyes, Jin stares at Tsutomu and slowly unwraps the red sheath or the red waistband that he has. Starts to wipe off the blood that's dripping down his face. And he starts to tie up his wound from the knife wound that is on his leg, staring coldly at his brother. "Watch where you're aiming." And as soon as he's done tying, he's going to do a little shadow step behind the last little inferior ninja there. And you know what? I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to attack him. Well, actually, I'm going to do the stunning strike.
Okay.
I just want to daze him.
Yeah.
I don't want to kill him yet. Maybe torture him later.
Sure.
So, so just roll an attack, right? There's no damage or anything.
Yeah, you have to hit with your attack, and then you spend a key point, and then he makes a save.
It's a nat 20, so he's done.
Right, so you just roll the damage. It's an unarmed attack, right? So it's a D4 still, or is it D6 by level 8? I'm not sure.
I think it's a 6 because it's a magical. So 4 points of damage.
Okay. Plus your modifier for your dex.
Ooh, that could kill him. That's 8 points total now.
That will kill him, yeah.
Ah, damn. So after tying up his wound with his bloody hands, he vanishes and pops behind this guy and strikes him in his throat. But since he's so angry and just been hit by his brother, he hits him a little bit too hard and crushes his throat.
Yeah, windpipe visibly crushed, just falls dead. Okay, you've defeated the ninjas here. We'll go to Sadaharu on top of the wall. You've been looking at this army, trying to figure out its strengths and weaknesses and stuff like that, and you can see that the majority of the regiments are led by like a named man, right? Somebody who is a well-known samurai, and that's like he's the hero of that regiment, and he's at the very front, you know. But they're being led by those guys, so you figure take those guys out, the morale would be shaken a little bit. You see that there's very little in the way of siege weapons. They're bringing up ladders and stuff, but that's about it. They're trying to break down the gate for sure, but mostly they're climbing over the walls to just try and fight in a fair and honorable way. The Shogun is quite a bit back. You can see a pavilion set up, banners all over the place. You see the banners of the various Tiger Claw warriors as well. And you notice off to the left-hand side a sort of regiment of, not regiment, maybe 5 or 6 really, really large things. They kind of look like men, but they're hulking. They're like maybe 10 feet tall. They're carrying like enormous clubs with the what are they called? Those clubs. They've got like it's a club and they've got like all those metal balls on them. Standard Japanese weapon. They're all like dragging them towards the wall, and they're trying to climb up the wall now. Like one hand on the wall, the other holding the club and like climbing their way up. And you see breaking through the mass a group of martial artists, guys who have no weapons. They're wearing karate gis, and they're just like zooming their way towards the gate. You see them like jump up the wall with alarming speed. So that's the layout.
Okay. What's their general troop size compared to ours? Do they like just massively outnumber us?
They outnumber you by quite a bit, yeah. But you haven't lost any men yet, and they've lost quite a few already. The castle is an enormous an asset here, You also see that a lot of their warriors are Ashigaru, while yours are entirely samurai. So a lot of their guys are not, lifelong warriors. A lot of them just have spears, and they don't have the armor a samurai would have. They're effectively levies.
Okay. So when I notice the state of the situation, my character Sadaharu becomes visibly irritated. He strikes a hand down hard against the wall and takes his pieces on the board and halves them, knocks half of his pieces off the board. He turns and sees one of the boys that have been replenishing the archer's fletchings, and he says, "You boy, go to the opposing wall now and tell them to deal with those monstrosities," referring to the guys with the hulking clubs that are trying to climb. Is there a place on the battlefield that has tar?
Inside of your castle you have it, and I'll say at the base of the wall you probably have some pitch and stuff left set up as well.
Okay, so I'm going to turn to this other guy. He actually smells like sulfur and mud. The dude is filthy. He's a pyro. I've seen him playing with fire before when I've been walking around the castle. I know this is the man for the job.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just yell at them, "Chico, I want you to light that on fire." And I just point down at the tar around the bases of the walls.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so you do. He's a practiced pyro, right? And he waits. He can see the movement of the battle, and he can see the kind of ebb and flow, and he's kind of timing it, so when the maximum amount of people are in the tar, that's when he lights it. And just as a bunch of guys rush, just after the martial artists have gotten to the actual wall and are a little bit up, like a big rush of Ashigaru and a couple of samurai rush forward, and he just... And then, woof, massive flame, big wall of flame, choking black smoke rises up, and you just hear screams as people are immolated in this boiling hot tar. So the rest of you guys, do you want to make your way through the wall? Do you want to see what happens in the courtyard? Do you want to take a rest or something? I mean, you won't have time for a short rest, but I mean, you can like get a breather.
I would remove the last of the shurikens and discard them to the ground. You said we're located in the courtyard right now?
Right, yeah, the wall is in front of you. Not that far.
So I would just survey the scene and make sure the defenses for inside the courtyard are ready.
Mm-hmm.
And wait.
Okay. So these... It's been going pretty well, right? You've definitely took a big chunk out, and the initial rush of samurai that they thought would be able to get in didn't make it in. Under the guidance of Sadaharu, he was able to kind of stop that happening. He was able to defeat the first wave. Now they're sending just masses and masses and masses of Ashigaru who are not professional warriors, who are levies, and they're just like running chaotically almost with not anywhere near the precision that the samurai were moving in towards the castle, and they're just rushing up. So around the same time, there's a thunk as these hulking things jump across the wall. You see they're peppered with arrows. They've obviously been hit quite a lot, but they kind of land with a thump. They're probably 9-10 feet tall, ridiculously heavily muscled, and they have these enormous clubs with them, just wearing loincloth, and they drag the club behind them. One of them is even bigger, maybe 10, 11 feet tall, and you recognize to your heart this is an Oni, this is a demon. He is actually floating a little bit off the ground, and he's got an enormous glaive that he's got in the crook of his arm, ready to go. And they move kind of towards the castle, and they're searching for Lord Hojo.
I will send the statues to intercept them.
Yes. Okay. So you, with a thought, activate the statues, and the two of them, enormous iron statues, just stomp over towards them. You see these things try and fight. Right, they're smashing into the statues, and they're doing some damage. All right. And then one of the statues just like opens its mouth, and a green cloud of poisonous gas just spreads all over the place, and the creatures are choking. The Oni flies up above it all, up into the air, and he waves his hands, and he shouts an incantation, and a cloud of frost spreads from his fingertips and freezes the statues for a moment. And they stop for a second. So the statues are taken out. Two of these guys. The remaining three, figuring that this is not going to be a good idea, they're running from the statues at maximum speed. The Oni is flying in the air towards your direction.
How far away is it?
They're probably about 50 feet away from you.
Okay. Oh shoot. I forgot. Darn it. So, I guess at this point, what I'll do is I'll open up with another kiss of the Amazoko, concentrating it all on the floating demon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see it's like this shaggy-haired thing. It's got quite large fangs that curve outwards, and it's just wearing this ragged cloak, but it's got an enormous, clearly magical glaive in its hand.
Okay, so... Yikes. So, 15 and 1.
It's going to be 2 misses. So this thing's up in the air, your blast just barely whizzed by it. One of them catches its cloak and rips the cloak off, and you see that it's like heavily muscled, covered in tattoos, and it's coming right at you guys. It's much quicker than the things behind it. You see now from up closer that these things have tusks, sloping foreheads, kind of pig-like noses, beady little eyes. They don't seem to be very intelligent, but they're definitely very angry. So before they engage, I guess anyone who has a range attack can do that.
Yeah. How far is the Oni away from me, Lloyd?
So yeah, I'm gonna say you're pretty much on the wall in front of where they are. You're about maybe 50 feet from where their position is, and he's like 50 feet further away from them, so that he's like maybe 100 feet away from you.
So he'd be within range of a bow?
He would, yeah.
Okay. I'll let Nelson go ahead.
Okay.
You could go first.
No, man, I've got a lot of action out of here. Go for it, man. Go.
All right. I'm assuming both the 21 and 23 hit.
Yes, they both hit.
So you'd see you'd see Satomu just sort of stepping forward and then jumping in the air, and then he proceeds to just spin rapidly horizontally, and before he lands, out of the blackness that is this sort of torrent of just pitch black onyx feathers, fires 2 swift bolts of lightning at the larger of the 2 Oni. 3 Oni, right? The larger of the 3 Oni.
Only one of them is an Oni. The other 2, they're kind of these hulking brutes, but they don't seem to have any of the magical powers the Oni does.
Well, he fires them at the Oni then.
Okay.
and the 2 bolts of lightning at the Oni, and he knocks it backwards a total of 20 feet as it's flying towards us, and deals 18. I don't see the other dice. 18, 19 points of damage.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so you bite into the Oni. 18, right?
19
19.
of force.
So yeah, you smash into the Oni. Do you say you knock it back 10 feet as well?
20, 10 for each hit.
Okay. So yeah, smash, knocks it back. Another one. It's still in the air, but it's been knocked back. It's actually lying down in the air, but you can see that it's flying. It doesn't have any sort of wings or anything. It just seems to float of its own will. So do you want to command the archers, Andrew?
I actually am going to yell breach and signal Hanku to throw me his bow.
Okay. Yeah, he does.
So I'm going to grab it. I pull an arrow from the quill of an archer below me, stick it in it, and let loose at the Oni's hand holding the glaive.
Yes, nice.
Alright, that is going to be not good. 3. 14.
No, it's going to go wide.
So you just see it go like wild.
I mean, it's close, but it's just not close enough. So aiming for such a specific target was quite difficult, and if you had gone probably for the center mass sort of shot, you would have made it, but it just kind of whiffed past his hand a little bit.
Yeah, the plan was to make it a disarming strike because I'm a battle master.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he kind of sees the arrow go past. Continues to fly forward. So now I'll have you guys roll some initiative. Oh, Jesus.
Was there enough time between, let's say, the last time I killed
Fuck my life.
the last ninja and the time that we're going to do this to, like, take a couple of potions?
You could have taken potions for sure, yeah.
Nice. Let's see. Yes.
I rolled a crit initiative.
Nice.
Nice. Very good.
It's a 28.
I have a
28.
I got a total 9 this time.
Okay.
11 for me.
Jin. 9 for Satomo. And what about Hidetada? 16. Okay.
16.
Perfect. Okay. Because Lord Hojo is Lord Hojo, he's going to go before Jin. Perks of rank. Okay, Sadahara, you are definitely first.
Alright, so I know I got the audience watching on edge. My hand went lightning quick down into that quiver, and I pulled something out and shot it. Now remaining, still produced in that same hand, is a second arrow sticking between the middle finger and the index. Miss. Takes a second shot right at the hand again.
Mhm.
That's much better. This one's going to be a 24.
Okay.
Alright,
Yeah.
so I'm going to use my superiority dice for disarming attack. What that's going to do, it's going to let me add the attack to the damage roll. Then you have to make a strength saving throw.
Okay.
And let me see what the DC on that was.
Not
Make sure.
very
8,
strong tonight.
Fucking Oni.
16 DC. Because
Yeah,
my
you
guy has
failed
a
it.
20 strength.
Nice.
That glaive's dropping.
Uh-huh.
Alright, so the damage from the superiority die plus the damage of the... What's the damage of longbow? Do you guys know?
A D8.
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 Okay. So it's going to be 10 plus 3, 13 damage.
Okay. Alright, so you shoot and it just hit them like right in the webbing between his index and his middle finger. Just bites in there and he just, not thinking let's go of the glaive for a second, and just plummets, lands blade first in the ground, buries itself a little bit deep. And he's just like outraged. Hidetada, you're next. Do you have another attack, Andrew?
What?
I do actually.
Yeah.
I'm going to forfeit it though because I don't think my skill with the bow is going to. I'm going to return my bow to Hanku.
Okay, perfect. Hidetada, you're next.
Okay, so I do have a longbow too,
Okay.
and I'll try to shoot the Oni chieftain, if I can call it like that.
Yeah.
Okay. 18 total.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Okay, so d8 plus 1, it is 6 total.
Okay.
So I try to shoot to aim at the throat of the creature, and I think it's not really good as that, so it hits the chest instead.
Yeah, it bites into this guy's ridiculously muscled chest, and he just looks with contempt at the arrow. Okay, Lord Hojo.
So how far away is this thing from me now?
It'll probably have moved to within 30 feet, I would say.
And how high up in the air is it?
Like 40 feet ish.
Okay, so I just wouldn't be able to reach him with the. So I guess I would just rely on the gift from my goddess and do another of the blasts,
Okay.
focusing both on him.
Mhm. Okay, so it's 2 misses.
Pretty much the same as last time.
So they both go wide. I'm going to say nothing happens for the critical miss. It doesn't seem like there's anything in the way or anything, so I think you're okay. I'm going to have Jin go next.
What about these two? How many big, let's call them Umber Hulks or whatever they are, coming towards us? There's a couple of
There's
them left, right?
2 behind them. 3 of them were like laid low by the, 3 of them were laid low by the statues. The statues are still kind of frozen where they were.
So there's really nothing to really attack as far as somebody who close quarter combat. Right?
Not really. Good run.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna do something crazy, but I don't think I want to go out in the middle of the battlefield all by myself. So I'm going to I'll just ready an action, do a little hide action, and prepare an attack
Okay, sure.
when the big boys come.
Yeah. Sutomo.
I'm sorry, I'm getting a little too wrapped up over here, but yeah, Sutomo, you said there's only one Oni,
There's
right?
one Oni and 2 kind of hulking things behind him.
So as Sutomo was kneeling on the floor, covered in his cloak of onyx feathers, he'll rotate around as he begins to stand up, and then as he rotates, his eyes are just ablazing with powerful energies, and the electricity is sparking out of his eyes, and he stares into the eyes of the Oni, and he says, "I, Hojo Sutomo, am Onigarimaru, if I said that right. Onigirimaru, sorry, of House Hojo. Face me." And he just opens up his hands and then does the whole come here thing with both hands. And that's a vicious mockery on the Oni.
Okay. It makes a save or you roll?
No, it makes a save, DC 15, charisma.
Okay. Okay, it fails.
So it takes 2d4 damage, and all of its stuff next turn is at disadvantage.
Okay.
So it takes 4 psychic damage.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay, the bad guys go. So the 2 things behind it rush. They move 40 feet, nearly clearing the distance between you guys, and so they're just stomping. They're kind of running on 3. You know, they've got their legs and one of their arms out like a gorilla, and they're dragging the club behind them. The Oni moves forward, and it is going to, first of all, you see that a lot of the wounds on it close up. So, like the the arrow in its hand like falls out and the wound closes up, and it seems to be healing itself. It also then looks toward you and waves a hand, and a cloud of darkness appears, covering you. Specifically, Sutomo is covered in darkness. And I assume then next to him is Lord Hojo and Jin, so you guys will all be covered in darkness. And it continues to move forward, so now it's going to be pretty much where you are, except it's up in the air. And that's going to be their turn. That's a very boring turn. Sadaharu.
Alright. Giving the bow back to Hanku, I give off a little bit of a sigh of relief and brush a huge bead of sweat off of my brow, seeing that I was able to disarm the Oni with that shot. I quickly take my attention back over the wall to what's happening around the castle, because I feel like I'm the one being charged with the outer defense.
Mhm.
I see that these leaders of the individual groups are now extremely close to the wall, so close that I can actually point them out to my archers, each of them individually. And I turn and I say, especially saying this to Hanku, for each of you that fell, one of those men, and I point at each of them individually, land and titles and the honors of House Hojo.
Hi! You see that of the maybe 10 of them, right, so there's maybe 10 regiments, 2 of the samurai are able to draw their swords and cut the arrows out of the air. 2 of them are. The rest of them are not. They get stuck with them. They don't fall dead, but they've definitely been hit. So mostly it's shoulder shots or maybe center mass kind of thing. Very few of them are kill shots. But they are definitely injured.
Do I see the kid that I sent to try to get the archers on the other wall to take down those hulking monstrosities? Is he back?
He is back, yeah.
He just gets back, man. This kid is out of wind. He's got scars all over him. Looks pretty mucky. This is a hard go for him, especially being his first battle. And I say to Shiko, boy, come here, boy. You will not fail at this. Go to the men and check their quivers and replenish their arrows, and I kick him. I want to use intimidation as my action.
Okay, good.
I want him to understand that if he fails, I will kill him.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be... It's a 9.
Okay. Well, he's a little boy, and you are one of the sons of Hojo, so he's going to be frightened, but not as frightened as he could have been. But he definitely bows, hi, runs away. You see him like zooming, completely out of breath, but just and putting arrows and quivers and making sure everyone's okay, bringing water to the archers so they're not thirsty as they're fighting. So yeah, he's doing it.
With that piss poor display of intimidation, I actually look at Hanku and I say, I know I'm too easy on the boy.
Okay, Hidetada, you are next.
Yes, sorry for what I got disconnected.
No problem.
Okay,
so if you missed it, the Oni and the hulking things are a lot closer. You could reach the creatures on the ground, but the Oni is about 40 feet up in the air.
Okay. So, 40 feet. I'll take a shot with my longbow again.
Sure.
Okay. Total 16.
That is exactly enough. That's a hit.
Oh, okay. So, d8 plus 1. 7 total.
Okay. Very nice. Okay. Lord Hojo.
How close did the Hulks move towards you?
They're probably within 10 feet of you. Just about.
So, okay. So, what I'll do then is I will... Well, I'm in darkness, actually. Are they outside the darkness, or are they inside the darkness?
They are just outside the darkness. The Oni was thinking that if he puts this down, he'll be able to approach with less difficulty.
So basically, I can't see anything right now, correct?
Unless you have that invocation, you can't see anything, no.
No.
So
So
you're
then what
attacked simply with disadvantage.
Well, what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to make my movement of 30, and I'm going to circle to my left, back, and to the left, trying to get out of the darkness.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to. You move pretty easily. You see that there's basically like almost a cube of darkness has been summoned on where you were. You see that these two things, like drooling from their tusks, are like just pretty much just approaching the edge of the darkness. The Oni is still unarmed, yeah. Just approaching nearly there.
Okay, since I have not been having much luck with the Oni, I will send the blast, one each towards one of the hulks.
Okay.
And let's hope I get a little better this time. So, a 14 on the first one and a 24 on the second.
2 hits.
Okay. So for the first one, 6 points of damage and knocks back 10 feet. And for the second one, 15 points of damage and knock back 10 feet.
Okay. Excellent. Okay, so yeah, and they kind of like, they don't lift off the ground, but they're kind of like, you see skid marks appear in the ground as they're like pushed back and they're holding onto the ground. So then it's going to be Jin's turn.
Okay. Jin would like to be a sneaky, stealthy little bastard and use the shadows to approach within, let's say, 60 feet of the Oni. Now, I realize he's up in the air, but he's going to shadow step behind him, and upon appearing behind him, take a double attack and use Feather Fall to fall to the ground.
Okay, so how did you get up in the air? Just saying it? I forgot.
Shadow step.
Shadow step.
Way
Okay,
of the shadow monk.
so that's what, you could teleport to 60 feet,
60
right?
feet. Yeah, buddy.
Okay. I don't think you'd be able to make 2 attacks while you're falling. Or using Feather Fall.
Using Feather Fall, double strike at the same time, crossing in front
That
of you.
sounds like a ton of actions.
I get 2 attacks.
Yeah, you get 2 attacks for sure, but then surely Feather Fall is an action or a bonus action, and Shadow Step is an action or a bonus action, no?
Shadow Step is a bonus action. Feather Fall is a reaction.
A
Yeah,
reaction.
so it's pretty
Okay,
much.
then it's
yeah.
all legit.
Yeah, man. That should be pretty fun. Okay.
Because
You know what,
whenever
I'm
I
gonna
hear
give
players be
myself-
like, I'm going to go over here and do this thing and wander over here, and I'm like, pretty dodgy,
Well,
guys.
I got a little 22 on a little stealth check, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna roll my double attack here. This would be pretty cool if I can crit, actually.
Your first attack that you make after
Uh-huh.
shadow stepping is with advantage, but only the first attack you make.
Oh, okay. Let me do this on Dice Stream. Even though you can't see it. How about an 11 and an 18? So that's an 18 plus a lot, so that should be a hit on the first attack.
What's the plus?
18, 19, 23, 24. Plus 5 because it's a +1 Morning Star. Plus my dex. So, and then the second one is not enough. 9, 10. That's a miss, right?
That's a miss, yeah.
Dang. And he's already disarmed, so I can't really do anything like that.
No.
Which would be kind of a little overpowered anyway. Oh, yes, nice 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points of damage.
Okay, nice. And then you fall casually to the ground, right?
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. First time I'm doing something like that, so what, like a dex or...
No. The way Feather Fall works is that you use your reaction and reduce the damage you take
Mhm.
by 5 times your monk level.
Wow, that's pretty by 40, so
You would have taken 4d6.
I covered it all.
Yeah, you're fine.
All right, nice.
So you land, I'm going to say, in that way that people always land in comic books, where like one fist on the ground and kneeling, right?
Yeah, man.
Land on the ground, you like jump up, whooshing, and then just land perfectly. Okay, so after Jin, it's Tsutomo.
All right, so
Kung Fu
I-
Master.
I'm wondering, you said the only cast darkness on me, right?
Yes.
Was it my general area or on a specific item that I'm wearing?
How would you know?
Arcana, baby.
There you go.
Roll a 4.
Yeah, you think it's pretty dark around here.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm pretty smart and I'm skilled. Like, I get a total of 9. So
Yeah, you think it's pretty dark around here. I was looking for a 10 minimum here, like,
yeah, no, I missed it by a point, unfortunately.
unfortunately. You're like, I think he like did a spell and now it's dark.
So, well, I'm gonna move, and as part of my movement, I'm just gonna close my cloak, and do like the little ninja run, with your arms behind you,
Yeah.
and I'm moving away from Lord Hojo, so he doesn't have to suffer my curse.
Okay. So you're moving to the right then, right? Because you moved to the left.
And if I can, I want to throw. You know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna roll my attack.
Okay.
See what happens.
You'll have to roll disadvantage because the darkness followed
Yeah.
you.
So 17 on the Oni.
That's a hit.
Okay. So what he starts doing as he's running away, and he yells out, "Silly demon, do you fear me so much?" And you can't see what he's doing as he's shrouded in darkness. But if the Oni can, you see him reach out with his hand, and lightning sort of engulfs his hand until his hand is just a faint glow, but not enough to overcome the darkness. But then that hand of lightning, the Oni now sees in front of his neck, and it begins to choke him slightly before it fades. I'm casting a chilling touch.
Okay.
And I can't remember if that's 2d8 or what.
I don't know. I think it's probably 2d8.
I just had a brain fart, so forgive me. And I can't see. Yeah, 2d8.
Okay.
So he takes 8 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
So as the hand chokes him, and then it rapidly fades, it leaves a mark of rotting flesh around the Oni's neck, and that mark cannot be healed. He can't benefit from
Healing.
yeah, for this turn.
Ooh, okay. That's good because he's got regeneration. Okay. So the Oni, seeing that you're kind of taken care of in that cloud of darkness, looks to Lord Hojo and flies down towards him and is going to try and swing with its claws at him.
Do I get an attack of opportunity there?
Lord Hojo does. You are on the ground, so it's still in the air, so it's going to be flying like diagonal from where you are, so you wouldn't be able to hit him. But Lord
Okay,
Hojo does
yeah,
because
I
he's got
gotcha.
Sentinel
Sweet.
or Put On Master.
I can only
So
try.
yeah, when it gets within 10 feet, let's see. I'm going to release my blast, send it hurtling 2 bolts of lightning at it.
Mhm.
So a 21 and a 22.
It's going to be 2 hits.
So that would be 14 and 14, and plus knockback 20 feet.
Ouch. Okay, that's really annoying. So this thing rushes at you, knocks him back. He skids along the floor. God damn it! I just want to eat you. And I guess instead of attacking, he'll cast a spell then because he can't.
You will not live long enough to regret your actions this day.
Okay, so he looks at you and he says, "Be calm. You are very tired. Sleep." And when he does, you feel sleepy. Okay, so it's 5d8, 9, 15, 23. Do you have more than 23 hit points? You do. Okay. So you feel a little bit sleepy for a second, but you're like, shake it off, and you're able to maintain composure. The two big burly guys, they also rush towards Lord Hojo. You can only do that once around, right? The sentinel thing, because it's a reaction. Okay, so these guys rush forward, and they're going to try and swing their enormous clubs at you.
And as I shrug off the effects of its spell, I just laugh mockingly with a deep, booming voice.
Woo, ah, 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 ah. These guys
Please
both
tell me.
swing for you. One of them is going to hit.
Please tell me the darkness was dispelled when he took that damage.
I'll find out now. Hang on. So it's going to be 13 damage to Lord Hojo. Okay, then Sadaharu again.
Okay, so very pleased that my archers have taken down these men that I've picked out. I redouble my efforts to the remaining two and just point down with a forked finger, telling them to keep shooting at the two remaining men. My hands are like really cold with sweat from the adrenaline of the battle, and I go to wipe them off. And I notice there's an object in my pocket that I had forgotten about. My hand traces it, and it's circular. I slowly remove it from my pocket, and it's Tetsuo's amulet. I had an urge to pinch it from him a few days earlier. This conniving hook purses my lip, and I start to think to myself, get a little bit of blood on it, get a little bit of dirt on it. When the battle's over, I will return and claim my prize. I close my eyes, and I feel this like pollenistic burn in my sinus, and I open it, and I imagine me and Akiko standing in the garden. It's summer, and there's like rose petals falling all over, and I'm just embracing her. And you see my head over her shoulder with a wicked grin on my face.
Nice.
Sadaharu is a monster.
I'm gonna use my action to see the battlefield again. I want to see if I can reassess the situation to see how we're doing.
Okay. So yeah, these guys shoot again for the samurai down below, and again the two, they're actually ready for it now. The swords are drawn, and you reckon that these guys are probably the better of the lot. There was 10. You reckon these guys are probably the most elite. They're like well used to chopping arrows out of the air, probably able to deflect spells and stuff like that. They're pretty super elite. So it's your next action. You get to find the information. Is that how it works?
It's technically 1 minute, so
Okay.
I mean it's however you want to adjudicate it.
Okay, we'll just say next action. Okay, so after Sadaharu, it is Hidetada.
Yeah, okay. So, the Oni is still alive, right?
Yes, and he's on the ground now.
He's on the ground.
Yeah.
How many feet from me?
You can reach him.
I think I'll use Know Your Enemy. Can I know how much hit points he's got left? Something like that?
No.
I mean, oh, okay.
Well, that's the thing. I just think it would take you like another turn. So if you studied him for a turn, I would let it happen. It's supposed to be a minute, but I would let it happen. But he looks kind of all right, but he's definitely been hurt.
Okay. So,
You see like that he's got numerous injuries, and especially the last two blasts from Lord Hojo, you can see like big scorch marks on him from when they hit. So he's looking pretty rough.
okay, I'll take my chance with my longbow again. Don't want to die so early. And, okay. Dice roller. So +1, dexterity, d20, 21. That's crit, right?
Yes, that's a crit.
Okay, so how do I do that?
You roll the damage dice twice, so you roll 2d8, and then add your
Okay.
modifier, which is going to be 1.
Okay. So I've got a 9 total for the first one,
Uh-huh.
and
You roll 2d8, yeah, and then you add 1 to it at the end.
okay, 9 for the first one, and then 2 for the other one.
Okay, so
Total.
12. Okay,
11, I think.
11. Either way, that is enough, right? Your arrow shoots through the air, goes through his eye, and just comes out the side of his head. And he just kind of, for a second, looks around like, huh? And then just falls to his knees and dies on the ground. The other
Okay,
two... Go ahead.
as the Oni falls, well, Hidetara is quite stunned because he didn't know he would kill the Oni with a one shot, and also he's trying to understand what is happening because, as you know, he is not very familiar with magic and he just see Hojo shooting lightning bolts and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, this is something you probably wouldn't have seen before. Lord Hojo wouldn't be usually, I don't think, walking around with magic going around, so this is unusual for you, but I mean, it's winning the fight, so I guess, you know.
Yeah, and also he reveres Lord Hojo, so he thinks that this girl is Godson.
Right, he's got powers. Okay, so Lord Hojo, you're next.
So what did I miss though? I guess caught the tail and the Oni's dead.
The Oni is dead, yep.
And are the two Hulks still alive?
They're like right up on you.
Okay, did they get any more attacks in on me other than the
Just
last?
the one.
Okay. Then what I'm going to go ahead and do is attack with my blade. And one of my invocations is it's a thirsty blade, so I get 2 attacks. Which is why the handle is red, or the blood of all my victims. So, a 9 and a 22.
22 hits.
So 10 points of damage.
Jin, you're next.
Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, I get to a bonus action. I'm going to swing the blade around and then basically stab at it with the butt of the weapon. 14.
No, that's going to miss. Oh, sorry, it's going to hit, actually.
Oh, right, it's the Oni that was 16. Yeah. So it's not very big, but 6 points of damage.
Okay, very nice. What was your first total? It was 5 plus, what's your modifier? You're to hit.
It's 3, but then I have a +1 magenta.
Okay, so it would have been 9. Okay, that's still a miss.
Yeah.
Okay, Jin, you are next. There's 2 big hulking creatures around your liege lord.
Yes, there is. I would like to obviously charge up behind them. I'm probably going to attack one each. And on the first one, I'm going to... Oh, wait. Are these guys armed? I don't know. What weapons are they carrying?
They're both carrying these big kind of clubs with metal kind of ball bearings.
Oh, yeah, right. The spiky type things. Okay.
Cannibal.
So I'm going to spend a superiority die on the first one to disarm.
Okay.
That's going to be a nice little 4. Okay, so first attack, 16, 21. Second one is 15. Both hit?
Yes.
Nice.
These guys' AC is 11.
Nice.
They're just pretty beefy.
Sorry, I'm going to do this fast because it's puppy pee time. First one, 8, 9, 10, 13 plus 4, so 17. So the disarm is hit, and then the second one is 6, 8, 14. 15, 16, 17.
And is disarming both of them, or just the first one?
Just the first one.
Okay, he is disarmed. You like chop into his wrist, and he just drops the club.
Nice.
Okay. Then it is Sutomo's turn.
Now that Tsutomu can see once again, Tsutomu runs to flank one of these. No, he runs by his father's side, flanking his father, and he'll turn before he attacks to his father and says, "Father, the power of the mistress, I can feel it. It's overwhelming." He'll he'll let fire 2 lightning blasts.
Okay.
15 and 19.
19. Both hits. Are you attacking one or one each?
1.
Okay.
I don't know. Dice stream is not loading my second dice.
You got a
All
one
right,
and
here we
three.
go. All right, so 1 and 3. This is plus 8, so that's 9, 12 damage.
Okay.
And he gets knocked, and it gets knocked back 20 feet.
Yeah, so knocked back. Me one crush. Okay, and then it's their turn. The same one is going to rush forward and try and take a swing at Tsutomu. Bam. And miss. The one that's engaged with Lord Hojo is going to pick up his club and then swing.
Quick question. This is wait before that. Oh no. Before that, the one that rushed back at me. Lord, I'm side by side with Lord Hojo. So would that provoke his polearm master, since he has a 10-foot reach?
It would.
Oh, jeez. So before I'm potentially knocked down, I get to unleash the fury of the goddess on this creature that dares attack my son. So that would be a 15 and a 12.
Yeah, both hits.
I got some more loveliness.
Fucking power gamers in my game.
That's a 10 and a 6.
Okay.
And it's knocked back again.
Jesus, that's such an annoying ability.
And are you ready for this? Before that crit, I used my Sentinel ability, coupled with my Warcaster, to do 2 blasts at the one that just swung at my father.
Okay, wait. How does this work? So he has to be within 5 feet of the target and not attack you, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, and it's before he attacks or after he attacks?
It's a reaction, so, I mean, I don't really know offhand, so it's up to you.
Important. I'll just have a look, because
All
if
right.
it's triggered by the hit or it's triggered by the... is important, because otherwise he won't get to do the attack. And that would be a real bummer.
Well, if Lord Hojo gets a vote.
Okay, creatures within 5 feet provoke opportunity attacks from you. When a creature makes an attack against a target other than you, use a reaction to become a weapon.
Hold on, I need my glasses.
Oh, and the target doesn't have this feat. Do you have Sentinel, Lord Hojo? You have Polar Master. Okay. When a creature within 5 feet makes an attack against a target other than you... Ugh, I don't know. Yeah, do it.
So, 22,
2 hits.
and I don't know what the other one is, because it's acting funny.
It's 2 hits.
Alright. So, whatever it is plus 8.
Okay, so it's 16 plus 8 is like a lot, 24.
Sure. So it takes 24 damage and gets thrown back 20 feet away from Lord Hojo.
Okay. I try so hard. Okay. So yeah, before it managed to swing, you managed to smack it with 2 Eldritch Blasts, knocking it back again. I'm gonna have it throw its club instead. All right, I'm gonna make it roll with disadvantage. I just want to hit Lord Hojo with something. Fucking. God damn it. Okay, so it flings the club forward, just smack into the back of the other ogre's head. So there's gonna be one of these to it. Oh, for fuck's sake, guys. All right. Okay. All right. These guys are not clever. Okay. Sadaharu, you're up.
Alright, what does my keen battle sense tell me about the sway of this war?
Okay. You have been holding them back quite well. You have the samurai who were charging when their leaders fell. They got kind of faltered for a second, and they're kind of charging with less enthusiasm. The Ashigaru are definitely less enthusiastic. Seeing like the mound of bodies at the base of the wall, it's making them frightened. But you look out and you just see just army for miles in every direction. It's like insurmountably large number of enemies. It seems like this is the first wave of many. So yeah, these martial artist guys are just getting to the gate, and one of them takes a moment and he shouts a big "Ki!" punches the gate, flies off, smashes it. The gate flies out, hits one of the ogres, crushes him entirely, and this guy is standing there in like a sort of stance. But yeah, the army is kind of moving forward slowly but surely. The Shogun's tent is being carried, and it's moving forward as well.
Okay. I hear in my mind the haunting sound of a kodo start playing. Like that prick twang of the Japanese guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And I just look at the chessboard, and I knock my own king piece over. And I turn to Hanku and I say, preserve ammunition. Only fire when they get within 300 feet of the wall. You're in charge now. And I'll start going down and making my way towards the breach and grabbing the battalion of actual foot soldiers that were there to stop a ram.
Yeah. Okay, sure. You get down there, you see that there are 3 of these martial artists. One of them is he's got this like black spiky hair. He's got a big scar running across his face. He's wearing a karate gi and no shoes on him. He's just standing there, like ultimately, like still in the same pose after he literally punched the gate off the wall. And he sees like you rush down with these soldiers, and he just like bows and drops into a fighting stance. The 2 behind him just like stand there, ready, waiting.
So I just like throw the wooden cane that I've been holding in my hand to the ground. And you just see me reach to my back and slowly pull out this gigantic, long, wicked no-dachi. I just take it with both hands. And then you see me drop back and hold it in like a lunge position. And I attack using my Battle Master feat, lunging attack, giving me an additional 5 feet range.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to be a 13.
Okay, 13 is probably not going to hit. Let me check.
So that's attack 1, miss. Second attack, once again, lunging attack. So I'm using 2 superiority dice.
Okay.
14.
Jeez. Okay, no, still a miss.
So I'm hearing the kodo just twanging in my head, and you just see me lunge forward, he avoids it. Lunge forward again, he parries it with his hand. Like I recoil, and I'm starting to think things are going to get ugly.
Yeah, this guy he bats his sword to the side, and he just says "Samaka," which is "You have come," and he has this really booming, deep voice, and you think you might recognize him. Actually, you think this might be the famed Kazuya, who is a terrifying warrior, well known throughout the land. Yeah, Kazuya Iron Fist. So, Hidetada, you are next.
Okay, so I saw Sadaharu engaging with those martial artists,
Yes.
and I'll be using a Battle Master maneuver. It's called Rally.
Okay.
I don't know if I can do it before attacking.
I'm not sure. Let me check it. I don't know what it does. rally. On your turn, you can use a bonus action and spend its. Oh yeah, you can do that before attacking. Sure. It's a bonus action, so
Okay.
you can do that and then attack.
Okay, so actually it will grant temporary hit points equal
Mhm.
to my superiority die roll plus charisma modifier.
Uh-huh.
Okay. It's a d8 for the superiority die, right?
It's a D8. Yeah.
Okay. Plus 2, a total of 7.
Okay. And who are you giving it to? To Sadaharu?
Sadaharu, yeah.
Okay. So you get 7 temporary hit points.
And I'll actually
Nice, man.
attack. It's okay. And I'll attack with my longbow again.
Okay.
I'll take my shot at the first one. Take
Are you
my
targeting
time.
the guy who was talking, the Kazuya, or the two behind him? Because there's two lesser martial artists behind him.
The first one.
Okay.
The one who appears to be the leader.
Mhm.
Okay. A total of 16.
Okay. That will hit. So roll your damage.
Damage. Total of 5.
Okay.
I don't think that's much. So as I take my time to shoot, I think I'll hit him into the shoulder, something like that.
So actually what happens is the arrow whizzes, and he's engaged with Sadaharu, right? He's like circling around him, and as the arrow comes, he just grabs it out of the air, and he throws it back at you.
Oh.
So it's going to be a 13, which is a miss. But yeah, he catches the arrow in the air, and like with a spinning move, just like flings it back, but it's not thick enough to or hard enough to pierce your armor. So now you can make your second attack.
Okay.
If you like.
Yeah, sure. 18 total?
Yep, that's a hit.
Okay. Oh shit. A 3 total.
Okay. So that's 8 total. All right. Hojo.
How far away is the gate?
It's about 50 feet.
Okay, where are the monks in position up to the gate?
They're like pretty much under the. So if you can imagine, it's almost like a building, right? It's like a gatehouse, and they're within the gatehouse underneath, and Sadaharu and his men are kind of like right in front of it on your side.
Okay, so what I want to do is drop a wall of fire between Sadaharu and the monks,
Mhm.
and have it that the side facing the monk side is what does the damage.
Yeah. So do you have to roll for that? I think it just happens, right? And they make a save or something?
Yeah, it's a wall that's up to 60 feet long and 20 feet high. So I'm going to try to, basically where the gates were, I'm going to try to fill that with fire.
Yeah.
And each creature within the area must make a dex saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 5d8. On a successful, they take half.
Okay. So they'll roll their dex saves. Yeah, they all nail it. Unless you're... What's your DC? 16, right?
Yeah.
Okay, one of them gets hit, and the rest of them make it, so they take half, I guess, right?
So it's... Where is it? 5d8? Yikes.
13?
14.
14. Okay, so the one guy takes 14, the other two take 7. You see, like, the wall come up, right? So go ahead.
If they try to cross it, they'll have to do it again, or if their turn ends on that side, they'll have to
Okay.
do it again.
Yeah, so you see, like, when the wall comes up, I can imagine Lord Hojo just, like, laughing like a maniac, raising an arm, and just, witness and the two of them, particularly Kazuya and the other guy, are capable of just like jumping back, shielding their faces from the heat. But one of them gets like engulfed in it, and for a second he's on fire. He like rolls on the ground a little bit to put himself out, so he's taking quite a bit of damage there. So then it's going to be Jin's turn.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
I didn't catch the last part. The wall of fire is up. Is that badass guy on our side of the fire?
He's on the other side.
He's on the other side. So really, we can't, unless we just want to walk through a wall of fire. We really just kind of standing by.
Right.
There's
still one ogre.
Oh, on our side?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I forgot about that guy. Okay, so who's he engaged with?
He's standing. Well, he was trying to get to Lord Hojo, but every time we walked near him, he just kept getting knocked back 20 feet. So he's about 20 feet away from Lord Hojo.
Okay. I'll maneuver around for a double strike on him.
Okay.
Just a little basic one, nothing special, no key points or anything. My puppy just chased my cat up and over the stove, up along the shelves in the kitchen. Nutbag. First one's 12 plus 13. How about a 17 to hit?
Yes.
And the second one is 16.
Both hits.
Nice. Okay. So 1, 2, 2d8. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 16 in total.
Okay. You plunge your blades into the back of him, and he falls. That's too big a hole to be an ogre like me. Okay, and he falls to the ground dead. Okay, then it's going to be Tsutomu.
You see, Tsutomu almost buckles over, seeming like he's in pain. His eyes are just ablaze with power, lightning literally firing out. He's grabbing his gut, bending over, he turns to his father. Father, the power of the mistress is too much. Then you see his cloak that has been shedding these ethereal feathers. These ethereal feathers are still shedding. They're shedding more rapidly, and instead of falling down to the floor, they start falling up. And as they fall up, they alight, and then his entire body is just licked in flames. Oh, by the way, I'm casting Fire Shield.
Okay. Okay, sweet. So that's when someone's near you, right? They take fire damage.
If they hit me.
If they hit you. Okay. All right, perfect. That's fucking badass. Then it's the bad guys. All right, so this wall of fire has erupted, and Sadahara, you see coming through it first a foot, and then in a flying kick, Kazuya-san flying through it, literally on fire. So he's going to make his dex save first. He failed it, so he takes like 5d8 damage. Is that right? Something ridiculous.
That one's better. That's 12, 17, 18, 19.
Okay, ouch. Okay, so he takes a bunch of fire damage, but he flies out. And he's going to try and attack you with a flying kick, and then follow up with a roundhouse kick to the thigh, and then a punch and an elbow. He's going to make 4 attacks.
Oh man, oh man.
This guy don't fuck around. Oh my god!
Does he break a hand?
Oh my god.
Punches himself in the face.
Oh, this is
so
my
sorry,
badass.
Lloyd.
He can't be failing.
Takes an Eldritch blast in the face.
So he flies through, and he misses with the kick. He lands too far. He tries to spin around for the other kick. You duck out of the way, and then he goes to punch you, and realizes that his arm is on fire. And he just goes, "Whoa!" And instead of attacking you, he's going to fall prone on the ground, putting himself out. Okay. The other two rush forward through the wall of fire because these guys are proper insane. So they're going to both make a save. And neither of them make it, so that's another 5d8s.
You want me to just roll once for both of them, or roll two separate?
Whatever you want, I don't mind.
Well, let's make it interesting. I can do a little math for this.
Do both and take the higher of the two and apply it to both.
Nope.
Like an advantage.
8, 12, 16, 19, 20, 26, 27. Well, actually, I guess I should separate it. That'd be 8, 12, 16, 19 for one.
Oh, dear.
And 7, 8, 14, 19 for the other.
What?
Oh, dear. Okay, so these guys also fly through, also on fire. They pat themselves out, and they're going to try and rush for Sadaharu. These guys only have 2. Oh, baby! That's what's up. So this guy rushes through. He doesn't try a flashy flying kick. He just runs up, and he just, from the hip, classic karate punches. So it's going to be... So it's going to be 4d6.
Yeah, I'm going to be using some superiority die most likely.
So 9, 10, 11, 12 plus 4 on each is going to be 20 points of damage as he like punches.
So what's that one from?
That
I
was,
have to do. Was that all for both of the attacks?
those are both of the attacks, yeah.
What's the first attack? 'Cause I have to do them individually first.
Okay. The first one was Okay, I'll just roll it again. So the first one was just 1d6 plus 4, so that'll be 7 for the first.
Okay, I'm going to ignore that one. That takes my temporary HP.
Okay. And the second one was a crit, so it's going to be 2d6, 4 plus 4, so 8.
Okay, I'm going to use parry.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to expend a superiority die. I get to reduce the damage I get dealt by that die plus my dex mod.
Okay.
So that's going to be 11, so I negate all the damage.
Nice, okay.
That takes me down to 1 superiority dice left.
So like he goes to punch, and the first one connects, but you've got this temporary hit point thing going on, which is good. You don't really seem to feel it. The second one he punches the flat of the blade, kind of clang, 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 vibrates pretty heavily, but doesn't connect with you. Okay. You see as well now, Ashigaru, Samurai have reached the top of the walls, and they're fighting the archers. So they're engaged in combat. There's the foot soldiers up there are now charging forward and fighting. There's all these. It's not like they don't fight in formation as such, because every samurai is an individual warrior. They're excellent at single combat, So it's lots of duels breaking out, and people are just like having these incredible sword duels. Most of them are very quick. It doesn't take long to kill someone with a katana, and the armor doesn't stop a hit. So it's like 3 or 4 moves maybe, like ding, ding, and then somebody's dead, and that's how a samurai fight goes. It's very little. It's not like fencing where there's lots of parrying and hitting blades. So it's pretty brutal. People are dying in large amounts up on the walls, both their soldiers and your soldiers. So you reckon once they've cleared that, they're coming into the courtyard. Okay, so after the bad guys, it's going to be your turn, Sadaharu.
Okay, so with the samurai breaching the wall, I see Hanku up there fighting, and he turns and looks down at me, and I see a katana burst out of his chest like a cadaverous bloom. And my mouth just, like my jaw just falls open, and I'm like, no! And the samurai kicks him off of the wall, and his body just falls, blood going everywhere, like a rain of blood, and smashes on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I turn and I think his name's Kazuyu? Is that the name of the martial artist?
Yeah.
Kazuya. So I've heard of Kazuya before. I turn to him, and he only sees the whites in my eyes. I'm a crazy man. He sees the Nodachi go to the ground, and I start pacing back and forth, dragging it in the gravel. And I say to him, I've heard of you, Kazuya. Let me show you why they call me the Crow.
He laughs.
Yamato.
I have not heard of you.
Alright, I make 2 attacks.
Nice.
Let's see this. So one's going to be a 21, one's going to be a 26.
Both hits.
Alright, we'll do the damage from the 21 first. It's going to be 2d6. 10, 15 damage.
Okay.
Is he still on his feet?
Yep.
For the second one, I'm going to expend my final superiority dice and make it a pushing attack and try to impale him back into the fire and roast him on the end of my
Nice.
Nodachi.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a DC 16 strength saving throw.
Okay. He fails.
So the first attack is grievous. I cut up, throwing gravel at his face, obscuring his vision, and the blade finds home, blood splattering all over the canvas of my now open body armor. The second one catches him completely surprised as his hands goes up, catching him through the solar plexus and hoisting him back into the flame.
Nice.
And I just
Okay.
hold him dangling as my arms tremble, looking him in the eyes with my peering white gaze.
I'm going to make him make the save with disadvantage because you're pinning him there. Wow. He makes it. So, yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
So say 26, so 13 for half.
Okay. So he's like literally pierced with the sword, being held up, and he's in the flames.
You have to roll damage for that, the second attack too.
Okay.
That gets a superiority dice. So that's 10, 17, 22 points of damage.
Jesus. Okay. He is done for. God, that's like brutal. So you hold him up and you're like cooking him in the fire. And you see like he's trying to like center himself and focus to like stop the pain, but he's not able to with the sword impaled in his gut and being held in the fire.
As he's
If you can see, like deep into Sadaharu's eyes. Once again, that kodo is twanging in the background, and you can just see the man cavorting, being roasted alive in the fire as it slowly zooms in on the iris.
as the man kicks and screams at the end of the long blade, the flames licking and eating his flesh, laughter of Lord Hojo just booms and echoes throughout the courtyard.
Okay. So the samurai, I'm giving you, this is like I do this in Fate, I give you fate points. I'm going to give you inspiration, everybody, so I can just skip your turns. The samurai jump down off the walls, right? Hundreds of them. They just pour into the courtyard. Your guys are gone on the walls. They just pour in and circle around you guys. You're surrounded by hundreds and hundreds of warriors. And then you see the shape of a dragon floating through the air, tail like a serpent swimming, except it's in the air, and it lands in the courtyard, kind of spiraled around, and it appears in the form of the Shogun. He stands there before you. He says, I will deal with you myself. Your horrors have gone on long enough, Lord Hojo. You were once a star in its ascendance, yet you delved into forbidden arts. Does your house know what you did? Do your sons know what malevolence you practiced deep in the heart of this castle? The innocent lives lost to satisfy your morbid tastes? It has gone too far. You can die with honor, Lord Hojo. He takes out a tanto and he places it before you with a sort of white towel for you to lean on. He places it in front of you. You can still regain your honor.
Your hollow words reach deaf ears. You can make your accusations, but you will have to take my life if you wish it.
Do you not see that your plight is for naught? You are outmanned. You are defeated.
Tsutomu, still buckling over in pain, with these little wisps of fire coming out of his cloak. He'll start, he'll reach out for the tanto, right? And almost in a ceremonial fashion, he'll start laughing Father, the power of the mistress! And he motions to actually commit seppuku. But inside of the wound, as it opens up, you see the face of a Tengu. And then he falls to his knees, and his body starts to buckle over in half, and the wound just grows inside. And then the face of the Tengu sort of peers out of the wound, and then very rapidly it jumps out, and then it reaches out to the sky, and then standing where Tsutomu's corpse once was, as now all that is left is a pile of blood, a pool of blood. Right. The Tengu lets out just a fierce sort of half bestial, half avian wail.
Sweet. Lord, the Shogun steps back. Dark magics. I knew it. Your fate is sealed, Lord Hojo. You will die. Your sons will die. Your house will be destroyed and forgotten. Prepare
And
yourself.
at that moment, Hidetada just when he saw Tsutomu transforming into a Tengu, he sort of back off, knowing that it's a Tengu because of his long nose, and he's trying to comprehend what's happening because he knows that in the law, the Japanese law, Tengu is a demon.
Mhm. Okay. The Shogun, with great ceremony, reaches across and draws a sword. It's a katana. And it rings really loudly through the courtyard. It's totally silent. All the samurai are standing perfectly still. Just a really loud it vibrates in the air for a second as he does so. And he lifts it up above his head, ready to go. I offer you one last chance, Lord Hojo. Die with honor.
At that point, I will release my blast at him.
Okay.
So a 20 and a 24.
Yes, both hits.
So a 14 and a 7, so 21 points of damage total, and he's knocked back 20 feet.
Nice.
You have my answer.
So it was 21?
Correct.
Yeah, you knock the Shogun back. He goes whoom, into the samurai behind. And you see a lot of them just like, this is sacrilege that you would dare attack the Shogun. He is beyond the touch of mortal men. And the Shogun kind of just shakes his head to clear away the effects of it. And he kind of flicks his blade down, ready to go. So I'll have you guys roll initiative, please.
Hmm. 24.
Okay.
22, Lloyd.
Tsutomu has a 22 as well.
Alright, man, you go first.
Okay. Hidetada, what did you get?
21.
21. Nice. And Lord
Looks
Hojo.
like we all did pretty good. I got a 21.
Nice.
I'll let Lord Hojo go first, as a sign of respect.
Okay. So, Jin, your first act. The Shogun has been knocked back into the crowd of samurai, but he's standing there with his blade ready to attack.
With weapons in hand, Jin looks at the Shogun and says, "You accuse us of sorcery and witchcraft, but yet you employ such methods against us. You are a bigot and a hypocrite, and you shall die at our feet." And with that, I will hold my action.
Okay.
Because I gotta pee so bad, man. It's bad.
Okay. Lord Hojo, your next act.
Okay, I'm going to. So far, I've only cast the one spell. So I'm going to cast Scorching Ray.
Okay. Ooh, ouch. This is a 4th level, right? So it's going to be...
Yep.
Oh, God. So it's like 7 bolts, is it? Which is potentially 14d6.
So how do you... Let's see. So that's... I need to make... How many rolls? I need to make...
Let me just check for sure. I think it goes up by a beam every level, so I'm just going to check.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see.
It's five rays.
3rd level or higher. Yeah, okay. So it's going to be 5 rays, potential of 10d6. So just make 5 attacks, I guess.
And I get my spell modifier to that
Yep.
as well.
Mhm.
So I got a nat
Oh
20,
my God.
an 18, a 12, a 25, and a 16.
Okay, his AC is a 16, so it's 3 hits. One of which is a
Well-
crit.
So the crit is going to be, what, 4d6?
Yeah, so it's going to be for 8d6. Shit.
He started it, man. Not too good rolls. So that's 5, 8, 10, 13, 19, 23, 24.
Okay, certainly not bad. Yeah, you see all these balls of light appear around Lord Hojo, and then you just fire forward. The Shogun almost falls to one knee, but he shakes his head. And again, changes stance. Okay. Hidetada, you're next.
Okay, I'll be attacking the Shogun with my longbow again, with what I die. And 20 plus 1. Oh, 8 total. I think I miss. I miss.
Yeah, you miss. Okay. Jin. No, sorry, this is the wrong initiative. Sutomo.
All right. Now in this giant form, it grew so rapidly it was hard to notice. But you see that the creature, this giant Tengu, instead of having a body covered in feathers, you notice that the onyx feathers have turned into an onyx suit of samurai armor. And at his side is just a massive katana. This creature is like 30, 35 feet tall. Right? And then it grins and looks straight at the Shogun maddeningly. It takes a single step forward and in one motion draws its sword and swipes at the Shogun.
Okay.
He rolls a 1.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so
Oh, that could be really bad.
could be very bad.
Oh
So
my God.
your enormous sword kind of swings through the ground. So, Marmalade.
Yes.
Oh,
Let's see, who's in front of you?
As far as I know, the Shogun and all his dudes.
Right. Yeah, I don't know which of your friends is in front. So I don't think any of them are necessarily. Sadahar was at the gate, so he's not in front. What did Jin do?
I
He
could
didn't
just
do anything.
sacrifice my second attack.
Yeah, that works.
So he'll swing his sword and in no way, shape, or form trained in the true art of the blade, the creature stumbles forward and then just with his left hand, just smashes the floor to steady himself, and then
Yeah.
it stands back up, leaving just a shattered mess of stone where his hand once was.
Perfect. Okay. Yes, I messed up the 21s and 22 guys, so it's Sadahara now.
Okay, so the sound of the kodo in my brain just starts to get faster and faster, and I'm seeing this hopeless situation in front of me. Hojo, my lord, surrounded by the Tokugawa, and then I hear the cord snap, like the string break. And I remember back to when I was young, and I was at a house by a lake, and this old man was teaching me how to play shogi. He was explaining to me the rules, and I was getting completely devastated by him in my first game. But I managed to move my king to his king. And he explained to me that it was a stalemate because neither of us could move. And I was thinking to myself, the situation looks so hopeless, but now the Shogun is standing right here in front of the Hoji. Now's our chance to cut the head off the serpent. So I lunged forward, past everything, going straight for the Shogun. 2 attacks with the Nodachi.
Okay.
One of them's going to be a 21. The other one I don't think hits. It's 13.
No, so 1 hit.
So 1 hit. We'll do that one first. Bam. Alright, so that one's going to be 13 points of damage. Then I'm going to action surge.
Okay.
That's going to be 16 and 24.
Okay, yeah, 16 hits.
Okay,
Oh, both
so
hit. Sorry, they both hit.
So both hit. Okay. Do this one first. 8 plus 5. 13 damage from the second attack.
Mhm.
And then the third attack. I'm going to reroll the 1. Great weapon fighter.
Yeah.
It's a good
Nice.
reroll. 17. So
Okay.
17, 13, 13.
You like swing the sword with surprising speed, considering how large it is. The sword is made for taking out cavalry, and you're swinging it with surprising speed. You hit the Shogun a couple of times. You're cutting into his robes, and you see that red blood spills. The wound seems to close afterwards, but he's definitely not happy about it. Like he's hurt. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, then it's his go. Oh baby.
I like to take my action now.
Sure.
Now I will attack him.
Okay.
Sorry. Let me use Dice Stream. Because we all love Dice Stream. Okay, first attack. It's going to be 18.
Uh-huh.
And the second one, 11, 15.
Okay, 1 hit.
That's all I've been doing all night is 1 hit. I'm like the one-hit wonder. Must be the name of a rock band back in the 80s or something. Hey, at least the first hit was with my magical one. So 3, 4, 8, 9 points of damage.
Okay.
Deal.
Shogun, furious that you've all laid hands on him, will use his legendary action to make an attack against Sadaharu because he did most of the damage. And he will swing his katana. Oh yeah.
Sentinel.
That's a hit. Huh?
Sentinel.
You're not next to him though, are you?
Who, the Shogun?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm engaged with the Shogun, remember?
Oh, you're the giant thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this attack is happening.
Oh, okay.
Then you can do your sentinel thing. Because I don't know, like that just seems like super broken, right? Okay, go. Do your sentinel thing. See what happens.
23.
Okay, it's a hit.
Let me just make sure I roll the right amount of dice.
But this is an attack with a... What the fuck is going on here?
My polymorph form.
What?
That's
Okay.
4d12 plus 7 damage on a hit.
Okay.
So that's, well, let's add the 3. 10, 15, 22.
22. Okay, but you don't knock him back this time, right?
No, I don't knock him back, but under the
Okay.
crushing weight of the blade, he counts as being grappled and restrained.
Get the fuck out of here. You're cheating at this game.
No! I asked you before the game started, remember?
Yeah, I
About
remember.
polymorph?
So, does he get a save or anything against that, or is it just happening?
It's an escape DC 17.
So to become grappled, he doesn't have to... It's
It
to
says-
escape.
Yeah, it says if the target is medium or smaller, creature, it is grappled, escape DC 17. So I'm assuming that you have to roll your escape DC
Okay.
to not be grappled by this.
Okay. So it's a 15 for strength.
So yeah, he counts as being restrained as the massive weight of this blade is just resting upon his form.
Motherfucker.
And what I say was damage?
lot.
22 points of piercing damage.
You've just gotten yourself an uninvite to all of my games. This is happening.
I cleared it with you before the game started, though.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So he doesn't make that attack then because he is restrained by your gigantic sword. Then it's actually his turn, and now he will try and escape from your grapple. Bam. So 18.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank fuck for that. Okay. Now he's going to release his 4 attacks on you.
Me.
You.
All right. AC is 16 in this new form.
Okay, so it's going to be 3 hits, one of which is a crit.
That's fine. That's fine. I have fire shield on. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's fine. You
If
think
I can
you're
find
doing
it with us.
D12? This guy knows what D12 is.
It's all good. It's gonna be great.
Okay, so 14, 19, 26 or something, 28, I don't know. Oh, it's 14, 28 plus, it's going to be 5 for each one, so 15, so
43.
43, yeah.
I just took 43, but he takes. Where'd I put the spell at? He takes 2d8 fire damage for every hit he did. That's what? How many hits?
3, so 68.
3.
Jesus.
So he takes 8, 9, 10, 11, 15, 18, 19, 21.
Okay, nice. Okay, with a grin on his face, he lowers his blade again into another stance, and that's going to be his turn. So then it's going to be Jin again.
Can I do a little perception check to see every time that he changes his stance? Like, is he healing up?
You could try.
Not with that roll.
What was it?
Blinded. It was a 3 plus nothing, I believe. Yep. Perception.
Yeah, it's not going to do it.
No.
Okay. Yeah, there's definitely some significance to the stances he's switching to, but you're not sure what they are. But you'll find out now. So it's your go.
Okay. I'm gonna do a double attack with a last key point to do a stunning strike.
Okay, you're going to attack with disadvantage. He has taken the dodge action.
Okay. Where the hell is my? So first one is 18, and the second one is not enough. 6. Again, I always miss my second attack. So my superiority dice is 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 14 plus you got a little Constitution save.
Okay.
DC 15.
Yeah, he makes it.
I'm just failed tonight.
He's going to use his legendary action to attack Nelson's character. Because otherwise he'll just get sentineled again. So, and he misses. Okay. Then it is Tsutomu's turn.
Yeah. The other samurai, are they anywhere near this?
They're like a circle around you. It's almost like an arena of samurai.
All right. So Tsutomu is just dragging his blade that the Shogun tossed behind him, and as the blade crashed against the floor, and this Oni's blood is burning away at the Shogun, he drags his blade, leaving a trench in the stone. He then brings it over his head and roars out. Swings it, brings it back down to bear on the Shogun.
Okay, with disadvantage, yeah?
Hmm?
With disadvantage, he's taking the dodge action.
Oh, okay. So I gotta roll another one.
Yeah.
15.
Okay, that's a miss. You need 16. Okay, so you swing the blade, and it's kind of, because you're so big, it's kind of telegraphed, and he just like nimbly steps to the side, crushes the ground next to him, leaves a big gouge in the ground. Okay, Sadaharu, you're next.
Tokugawa banners being waved on the walls around the castle. Everything crumbling around us. All I hear in my head over and over again is Shiki Oba, Kanji Ishawara, Shojiro Ida, ... Hojo. Will this castle fall in a day? No. And I just lash out with this rage for going all defenses. I no longer care. I'm just going to try to sacrifice myself to kill this son of a bitch. That he's writing me out of the history books, and I'm not going to allow it. So with an abandonment, I strike forward. 2 attacks. Each of them is... Oh, it's at disadvantage, isn't it?
Yeah, but because you're freaking out, I'm going to give you normal for it.
Awesome. So it would be 2 17s.
Okay, those 2 hits.
Alright. Attack 1. So I'm going to reroll both of those with Great Weapon Fighter.
Yep.
7 and 5. It's going to be 12 damage. And attack 2 is going to be... Get to reroll 1 with Great Weapon Fighter. 10, 15 damage.
Wow, nice. Okay, so you swing with your enormous knife. You cut. First of all, you kind of slice his arm a little bit, and you think, I've hit him. And then, amazingly, your sword, whack, into his shoulder. The cut you've practiced 100 times as well, right through. And he stands there, and all the samurai go, Shogun, no! And he falls back onto the ground. And then his body begins to smoke. And then the smoke coalesces into the vague form of a dragon. And it grows and grows and grows, and then materializes in the sky.
You cannot defeat me, House Hojo.
I'm gonna play this as a fair sport too. Because of the way I was attacking, my weapon got caught in his shoulder when he fell back, and now I'm weaponless as his men close in around us.
Yeah, so he's floating in the air, a fucking dragon. And he says,
You will be removed from the history books. You have failed. Your evil will not stand in my land.
and then he goes,
Please tell me he moved away.
he turned into smoke, and then appeared in the sky.
I don't care.
So what I'm doing here is I'm cheating, right? I'm just making it up. I can do that because I'm the GM. I just made it up. He does whatever I tell him to do. So he appears in the sky as a dragon. He's kind of floating. It looks like his body is like moving the whole time, but he's hovering basically. And he just takes a deep breath in and out. And this ball of fire just descends on you guys and all the samurai around as well. Right? So everybody make a deck save, please.
Can I forego my deck save and take the brunt of the damage for the members of my house?
I'll let you. Basically, Lord Hojo will pass automatically if you do that.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. Noble of you. Okay. So everybody, deck save, please.
$21.
Okay.
About the only freaking thing I can roll tonight. Saves.
Bad news bears for me, I think. It was a 6 plus 3, 9.
DC is 20, so
19
Okay.
total.
Okay. So I think did just Jin make it, and then Lord Hojo make it automatically because Samu or Tsutomu is protecting him. Okay. Oh, this is so much fun. I get to roll so many dice.
I'm
Right.
going to take no damage.
And you take
Evasion.
no damage. That's pretty handy.
Evasion, yeah.
Are you cheating as well, or?
No, I got evasion at 7.
Okay. 10, 16, 23, 33, 34, 38, 43, 50 points. So if you made it, you'll take 25.
So with my fire shield, I have fire resistance.
Okay, so you'll take 25.
So I'll just take 25.
No, you will not hurt me. I'm too quick.
So the Shogun just is floating in the air, right? And he waves a 3-clawed paw forward, and the remaining samurai who haven't been obliterated by the fire just rush forward. Hundreds and hundreds of them. And House Hojo will fall. Unless Lord Hojo has a way to escape somehow away from here. I can't imagine that the fighters would, but the warlock might.
If I had enough key points, I could technically probably shadow step out of here.
The one
but
thing
don't.
I can do as a bonus action is the Expeditious Retreat, which allows me to basically move 60 at every turn.
Right. The thing is, though, there's like samurai all around, so there's nowhere
Right.
to run to. I thought maybe you had to teleport or something, that
No.
Okay.
I'll if I can, I'll stand and fight and buy the members of my house time to escape.
Yeah. Okay. You guys can narrate your doom if you so choose, if you'd like to. Your last moments.
So Tsutomu still this like 30, 35 feet, just more than twice as big as the Oni. Probably nearly as large as the Shogun in his form, is just taking broad, just without any skill at all, just broad low cleaves, cleaving dozens of samurai down in single swipes, and he'll turn to his family, and in the only voice that he now has, he just screams out, "Yeah!" And then with his left hand that he was holding back while fighting the Shogun, he takes his second attack, and then just swipes with his taloned claw another few dozen samurai. And he's
Yeah.
screaming at them, and as the samurai are trying to swing at him, stabbing, dozens upon dozens of katana in him, his blood nearly melting the katana and just lighting the samurai aflame, and they die screaming at his feet.
Perfect. Alrighty. So I'll say that with that whole confusion, Lord Hojo managed to get a little bit out of the area if he so chooses. But he might choose to stay and fight to the death. I don't know.
Sadaharu produces from behind his back his wakizashi, his short sword. A man charges in at him. He hits him in the jaw, busting out teeth and gum and blood flying in a misty cloud. He then draws, taking another man on the side of the head and splitting his head like a melon. He grabs one in front of him and headbutts, and then he feels the pierce of several blades, going lifeless like a voodoo doll. They kick him off, and he lands on the floor, his left hand shaking, going into his pocket and pulling out the amulet of Tetsuo. He looks over towards the garden as his hand falls, and in his head he sees Akiko walking, and he hears himself from earlier saying, "House Hojo will never forget the sacrifice of good men. Good men. Good men." As it echoes, and then he realizes he was not a good man. He was not a good man at all. His life was a sham, he was greedy, he was the oppressor, and he was corrupt.
Nice.
And he fades to black.
That's awesome.
Well,
Standing. Oops, go ahead, man. You go ahead.
Oh no, it's okay. Go ahead.
Standing in the courtyard with blood dripping from his blades, Jin looks to his father and says, "I have failed you, my father." And he drops his morning star at his feet, takes his short sword with both hands, and plunges it into his lower right quadrant of his stomach. And with sheer grit and determination, he slides the short sword over to his lower left quadrant, eviscerating himself for his failure and his dishonor on the battlefield, and slumps over and dies on his sword.
You see several of the samurai who are rushing forward to kill you see you do this, and they kind of like nod gravely, like, yeah, that's the right thing to do. And they like turn towards somebody else in your family.
Okay. So, as the huge fireball that has been breathed by the Shogun descend upon the castle, and all the things that Hidetada saw, in the fight, like the sparks that Lord Hojo was shooting a little while ago, seeing all this dark magic, Hojo Hidetada is doubtful of Lord Hojo, even the Shogun. For all he knows, they could all be the same doing dark magic, because, hell, he doesn't know anything about it. For all he knows, he has fought for the honor of his father, and he just put one knee into the ground and stick his sword, still holding it, and as the fire crashes into the ground, he burns, and he tries to hold his scream, and he dies.
Nice. Okay.
The world around Lord Hojo seems to slow. The sense of dread turning his veins icy as he sees each of his sons and his followers fall. He grips his weapon, preparing to charge forward into battle, to die with his family. But then he feels a familiar sensation, a soft, seductive whisper entering his thoughts. You have given your life to me, and I am not done with you yet. Come to me, my love. And at that, his features harden, and he turns, moving at a nearly impossible rate of speed. And any that get in front of him, he releases the bolts that were a gift from his goddess, knocking them out of the way as he heads for his chambers. Deep down below, there's a small group, a contingent of guard, waiting with a tunnel open to escort him away from the castle.
Perfect. Yes. Okay.
House Hojo shall survive.
The Revenge of Lord Hojo, the next one. So you don't see, but it pans out, and you just see this army surrounding the castle, and now they've just set fires. They burn the entire place. All the gardens are ruined. You see the chessboard knocked off a table, and somebody just stands on it with a boot, and it cracks in half. The whole place just up in flames. You see all across Japan, anywhere that there is a record of House Hojo, any sort of document or anything, you see it being burnt. All records of House Hojo are completely expunged from history. There has never been a House Hojo, ever. All the samurai there who were at that battle are told, on pain of death, never to speak the words House Hojo again. And House Hojo is forgotten, or so it seems, because somewhere far away, maybe deep in the mountains, Lord Hojo plans his revenge. There you go. Thanks, guys. That was great.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sweet. So those of you who are watching, thank you for watching. I'll just say we've got Infinite Roleplay here, and we've got SR2 Joker. Check out their channels. Check out the Tabletop RPG One Shot group. That's where I met all these people. And check out my channel. If you're on it, you probably are already. You're all DM. And look out for more games and have a good time. Thanks very much, guys.